Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great Friday evening. I'm having a great one because I have a good friend coming in tonight to talk to all of us and hang out for a little bit, talk some movies, talk some collecting, maybe some music. We'll see what we get into, and then our movie for tonight. So, I appreciate all of you coming out tonight. Anybody that's jumping in live or watching this on the replay, I appreciate it so much. Time is precious, and I appreciate any bit of it that you're spending with us. So, like I said, tonight I have somebody that I've wanted to have on my channel for a very long time. Somebody I've gotten to know through Instagram, through live chats on YouTube. Somebody that's just one of the nicest people that I've ran into, I think, on YouTube. Somebody that's very supportive and just a good person all around. And anybody that knows her, you're going to know the exact same thing. I'm just repeating stuff you already know, but I'm not going to waste any time. But we're going to go ahead and bring out, we got Allie in here tonight. I feel like I should do that too.
I was going to try to do the heart thing to see if it would work.
Oh yeah.
Some people, but I don't think I can get it to work, even though I have an iPhone. So I don't know.
See, I'm not doing my phone, so I can't do that, but I've seen people do it. We may talk about a certain individual later that I've seen do some things that, you have fireworks or some fancy stuff go off, but I don't know. We'll maybe mention his name here in a bit, but, and maybe we'll see him in the chat. And maybe I've already seen him in the chat, but probably, but, Allie, thank you very much for jumping on here tonight. I appreciate it. And I'm not just saying it, but you're like one of the nicest people that I've ran into on the whole social media experience on Instagram, YouTube. The amount of support you give to people, not even just myself, but like I've seen you in lots of different people's channels. And then the amount of knowledge that you have on especially horror movies, and we'll dive into that a little bit too, even though our movie for tonight is not horror movies, but I know you're not
horror movies.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You got Terrifier going.
Yeah.
Got art rocking there.
Yeah.
I know you're not limited to that. There's so many more things that you're interested in within different movie genres and then music too, that we've talked about. So excited we'll just see where it goes tonight. I know I'm kind of the random all over the place person. So as long as you're good with it, we'll just kind of hang out and have a chat, and eventually we'll get to the movie for tonight. Yeah. But
I mean, being random is kind of one of my trademarks as well. So I think that it'll go just fine.
We're going to be two peas in a pod, right? We'll be hanging out. We'll be good. So, like I said, I appreciate it. And, again, I say this so many times, I need to get a background like you and not just my little blank wall back there. So
didn't you say you were going to get some posters? Maybe
I have posters.
You just have to frame them or hang them.
Well, I got a little bit of a dilemma. The way I'm set up, I'm very close to this wall. And if you hung them at what I thought would be a normal height for walking into the room and seeing them, you'd see like that much of the bottom of the poster. Mm. And so I'm playing around right now, whether I hang them low so they can be on the live streams, or if I kind of need some more space anyway. So whether I do a little bit of a shelf there and those above it, and even if you can't see them all, it's okay. But kind of playing around with it a little bit. So
do you collect any like collectibles, or is it just movies? Or like
not too much.
That?
Mostly movies. Not too much collectibles, but I am not against it.
What about like box sets or anything? Like box sets? What about those?
Oh yeah. So I have some box sets. I have some So some of my bigger ones are box sets of movies or TV series. Those are some of my bigger ones. Where maybe those on top of the shelf or
Yeah,
something
that's
could.
that's why I was asking because that could be
Yeah,
cool to like put up on top of the shelf. Yeah.
I have some of my TV series. You might be able to see right there too. So
Heck yeah. I
I
used to
can't.
have a cabinet just like that until I moved here and I switched to this like tan or it's oak, I think. Because I was like, I need to just refresh the look of my collecting now that I can. Because before I was just kind of getting whatever took up the less amount of space. And
Oh sure.
even though this is very compact as well and it holds a lot, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, that's why I kind of went with this spinner, and I toyed around with the idea of getting another one of those too. It just doesn't take up a lot of full square footage,
and
but
it
it
holds a
holds
lot.
quite a. It holds a lot. So.
And they're sturdy too.
And I'm bad because I have a ton of movies stacked on top there too. You might be able to see some of the bottoms of
Yeah,
them there.
some like cases.
So we'll see. We'll get around to it. It's a work in progress, you know.
Yeah,
So how's your week going? How's your Friday going?
going good.
Good.
Been
Ready to
good.
hang out?
Yeah, I've been excited for this all day. So
I'm excited for it too. That's like I said, it's like when you know you're going to go hang out with a friend for an evening, just have a chat, whatever. It's something to look forward to, and definitely was. So, and I know saying we're hanging out, chatting as friends. We have some other friends I know are jumping in here tonight. So if you don't mind, might kind of run through some of the chat here real quick and see who's all joining us. I know there were some early birds in here. We had Johnny in here saying, "What's up, cool kids?" Always good to see you, my friend. Nice to see Allie again. I know.
thanks, Johnny.
Oh, we got Forgotten World of Movies. So we got Andy. He's
Great.
yeah, he's awesome. So do you follow him?
I think we follow each other on Instagram.
Okay, cool. No, he's a good guy over UK.
Yeah,
So,
I saw him on your channel.
yep.
And that's when I went and followed him because I was like, oh, he seems really cool. So
Yeah, no, he's a good guy, and he has some great content out here. And I'm sure we're going to find a lot of other people that are in the chat tonight that have some great stuff they're putting out. So we got Holland in here saying hi to both of us. Always good to see you, Holland.
absolutely.
Oh, that might be the unnamed man I was talking of, alluding to earlier.
Aw. I wish it would work. And also, it wouldn't be me streaming if Ezra doesn't make an appearance. So
We had a little blackout there.
yeah, he always
That's
has to be
awesome.
in front of the camera or get into the cabinets.
They need their attention. They need
Yeah.
it. I have a dog, and he needs it all the time. So, so you got a little cattail going around there that's having trouble. I have a big 93-pound lab, and his tail is like a stick. And when he whacks you with that thing, you feel it. So when he gets excited and that thing goes flying around, you
Aw.
know. So Anthony's saying, get the party started. Saying, what up to everybody? We'll run through here real quick here. Are you burning the Pineapple Express right now, Holland?
Oh my gosh.
I'm boring. I have water and Diet Pepsi. So there you go. That's my exciting evening right now. So I thought hurricane season was over.
Oh,
There's so many quotes from this movie, and
it's
we'll get to it.
insane how great quotes are from that movie.
And there's some that probably are not great quotes, but I don't know why. But and we'll get to it. I'll hold off on it. But there's a few things that maybe they're not great quotes, but I don't know why, but just caught me off guard, and I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
At a couple spots where I'm just like, I don't know why it was so funny, but it caught me in the right way.
The writing is just perfect. Like they don't miss a beat, They take every chance they get to say something funny or ridiculous. So I love it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we'll get into it more too, but I'll agree that it seemed like they had so much fun making this movie. Who knows if they did or not, but there just seemed like there was maybe so much improv and like I'd love to see everything that they didn't put in the movie, because there's probably just hours of stuff that they were just, riffing off of each other and just like going off and seeing what they're going to put in the movie. But
Yeah, it's
I don't
always
know.
amazing to me that they're able to like get the shots,
Oh yeah.
laughing because just the stuff they're doing and saying is so ridiculous that I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I know. I want to see I need to dive back in. I don't even know if my Blu-ray that I So spoiler, I did go out and I bought this used because we were talking about this before, like even before we had this scheduled. And you found out I had not seen this movie before. And you're like, Corey, come on. You need to see this movie. You got her. Yep. You got it right there.
CD. I need
nice.
Oh, I like this one though because it has all three of them.
Yeah, mine does not. It just has the two.
But that's a great poster too.
Yep. So this is one I bought. So when we started talking about that, where you're like, oh, Corey, that's our movie. That's going to be our movie we're going to talk about someday when we get on a live stream. This is the one we're going to talk about. And I was on a trip out of town and I was through, this one was at a half price bookstore and I found it used and I'm like, oh, I got to grab it. I got to do it. So
I'm glad that you did.
Yep, absolutely.
That's a great one.
Yep. Tiana was saying, hey, everyone, wanted to stop in and say hi. Have a great stream. Drew and I are just watching some movies tonight. Well, I hope you have a fun time, Tiana. Thanks for saying hey. I appreciate it. Everybody loves seeing Tiana. We got Jane Doe Latte. I always say it wrong. Sorry. I say mom. I say mom. Hello, everyone. And I think I confused some people on a few different streams when I'm like, hey, mom. And
they're like,
they're like, your mom's in the chat. I'm like, well, not my mom, but Jeff, John Doe Juggalo. It's his mom. And anyway, I won't go into too much, but this was something that a lot of friends did with my mom as well. And it was just kind of like a sign of affection when you're just like, oh, it's your friend's mom. And you're just like, hey, mom, Yeah. But glad to see you here. It's fun. Oh, we got Tony. See, Tony comes out when you're here. I need to have you on more often. I'll have Tony in my chats more
Does he
often.
not usually come into your stream?
He's going to be like, I'm in here, Corey. I'm giving him
good about popping in.
I'm giving him a hard time. But no, thank you, Tony. I appreciate you being in here. We got Mika in the house. I'll say hi to Kira too. Usually this is Mika when it's just under this, but I'll say hi to Mika and Kira because I love them both and glad to see you in here. I'm saying hi to Mom too. See, and Uncle
Tony.
Yep, and Mika.
The whole family's here.
Yep, exactly. I haven't gone to Uncle Tony yet. I just say Tony, but
I don't call him Uncle Tony either. He's just Tony to me.
Yep. Laren. Oh, hey, Laren. How we doing? Wilk and Allie. Good evening. Thank you for jumping in here, sir. Appreciate it. Sorry, I won't spend too much time on this, but I love people jumping in, saying hi to each other, us into each other in here. So, but we got a good crowd tonight. I love it.
We do.
Yeah. Friday nights are a little different for me jumping on here. So you never know with live streams because sometimes you just are competing with other people, but I got Allie in here tonight, so I'm winning the crowd over. So
if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Fridays are usually slower. Like there are a lot of people that go live on Fridays, I want to say.
Or maybe it's late Friday that people usually jump on.
Maybe.
So maybe this is the good time. It's before the party crowd comes out.
Yeah. The hooligans come out.
The hooligans.
Yeah.
We got to watch out for them, but we got everybody saying hi to each other. I love it. We got Sean in here, Cinephile Sanity. Happy Friday, guys. It's so cool that Corey is doing this live. You guys rule. No, you rule. Thanks for coming out, Sean. Sorry if I'm a little squirrely tonight. It's been a long week and I've been looking forward to this, so I'm in a good mood. So hopefully I'm not too annoying for everybody.
Hey, be as squirrely as you want to.
Careful what you say. Careful. Saying hi to everybody. Anthony saying what up, Tony, Tina, Mika, Jane, Laren. We got everybody in here saying hi. All right, I'm gonna jump through some of these. I don't want to miss anybody. If I do miss you, it's not on purpose. I just am bad at going through the chats. Mika saying, Corey, yes, we have to get some posters. Yep.
You could always try to get some smaller, like, dimension posters, kind of like maybe the Screen Factory size. It's like 18 by 24, I think.
Well, I probably should have thought about that before I did. I did go up. I have 3 right now. So.
And they're like full size ones, like, it's like 24 by 36, I think.
I don't know if it's that big. I mean, they're good size posters though. I'm looking at one right now, but I have right now, because I thought I got some like little frames that I'm like, oh, these are cool. I could easily like mix out different movies or themes for the month. So if you want to know right now, the 3 I have, and I don't know if they'll fit in here unless I'm trying to figure things out, but I have Back to the Future, They Live, and oh gosh, what was the other one I got? Predator.
Very nice.
Kind of went with some 80s action sci-fi,
Hey.
So we'll see. We'll figure something out. Everybody's got I'm a rookie at all this still, so just over your walls with
Let's do that.
no, I don't got that. I don't got that. You see my racy Smallville box set back there. They talked to each other at a coffee shop. That's my steamy action. Basement Blues posters can be hung double up. Sorry, I'm bad reading sometimes. Posters can be hung double/up and down. We would see the bottom and top half and okay. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll have to hit you up, Tony. You're more versed in this stuff than I am. Uh-oh. Now the hooligans came out. Corey, my lovely leader and Allie, we'll say lovely leader and Allie, the girl that makes Anthony become Mr. Super.
I don't even know what that means.
Gizmo, I don't know either, but we love that you're here. We love your enthusiasm.
It sounds cool. I don't know what that means.
He's usually giving me a hard time, so I'll figure most of the time he's poking at me, but everybody else he's Happy Optimus. We got the young cinematic OG has entered the chat. Princey. Okay, cool. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. Saying hi to us. We got say sup Gizmo. You could put a nice blown up picture of Gizmo on your back wall, Corey. I want that Gizmo. Just put your big old head right there. All the people come into my live streams then.
Does your family ever come into that room?
Not really. No.
Okay. Well, then they would see it and, so it'd be all right.
No, this is kind of like my, I got a work from home space on one side and then this on this side. And then we kind of do storage back here. So, I mean, they might come in for an envelope or a stapler, but, they don't stay in here very long. But just an extra room that I kind of took over this little corner for this. But I promise something will happen with that someday. It will happen. Saying hi to everybody. Love it. We got Texas in here. Hey, Corey, Allie, everybody in chat. Thank you, Tex. Love seeing you. So, okay, we're going to run through some of these really quickly because I want to be really, just watch our time with everybody in here and then with Allie as well. But like I said, I could just do this all day long though too, run through the chat. But saying hi to Tony, my favorite Disney man. I bought a Disney movie because of you two. I was talking about that earlier today.
Which one did you buy?
I bought a used 4K of Cinderella.
Nice. Oh yeah, you were showing that on the stream. Okay.
Yep.
Very nice.
So it's one I know we have the DVD of it, but
yeah, I just have it on the DVD. Here.
Yep, I got it somewhere
it's
here.
A pretty one, I think.
I have just stacks of movies, and I don't know. Oh, I moved it over there, but yeah, I got a used 4K of it. I'd like to see it. Sometimes 4K animated movies, they look really good, so it's kind of cool to watch that. And they got me inspired to go back to watch some of the. There's some classics from. I don't know. So ones I'm looking at. We have DVD and Blu-ray of a few of these, but there was Cinderella. Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. Those were kind of some of those big hitters, it seemed like. Yeah.
Big ones.
So Cinderella before high school, but for me, high school, I don't know how many times I saw, like, I think Little Mermaid was the big one, where if we were over at some house, anyway, there was a lot of times it was played. And so there was like Little Mermaid and then Beauty and the Beast, and there's just some of those that I'm not afraid to say I enjoy those and I like going back to them, and I haven't seen them in a long time. And when they had that Disney stream, and then I saw that used one come up pretty cheap, I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab that. So
No,
Are
I
you
think
did
you're never too old to enjoy Disney movies. I mean,
exactly,
like just
exactly.
because they're animation and maybe geared towards kids in some ways, like so it's like we were all kids once, and a
Yep.
lot of us grew up watching that. So I think they're timeless stories and
Uh,
beautiful animation too. So
so it sounds like you're still a fan of them. You still,
absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I have fun with them. So, and those are ones that I can get my wife to watch with me too, because she has a lot of good feeling. And that I don't say that in a bad way, but like sometimes you just have different genres of movies that hit for you differently, and we do have some very different movies that we watch that the other probably doesn't care for. But then there's some where you get some of your fun rom coms or some of the Disney ones. Those are ones that kind of nice middle ground that we can kind of come in and watch together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mika was saying this film has some fun quotes. It
Oh
definitely
yeah.
does. I didn't write them all down because there were so many, but there was a couple, and I'll probably like read it, and somebody will be like, "I don't remember that at all," but I don't know why, but it just caught me funny, so I just
Can't
wrote it
wait to hear
down.
which ones they wrote down. Because I wrote down one on my letterbox review, just all my like the standout favorites of mine, and there's probably like 10 of them.
Okay, I got to hear some of yours too. Like I said, I have some like there's a couple that are probably just people are like, why that? But I don't know why, but I just laughed. And because I laughed out loud, I just wrote it down.
Yeah.
So the horror pimp. There we go.
He's keeping that title alive single-handedly, calling him that all the time. It's so funny.
I think he called me that one time on a stream and somebody was like, put it in chat. They were like, haha. Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Corey.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, whatever. It's okay. He keeps the title. Well, he keeps the title. Pineapple Express. LOL. It makes me smoke weed. Hey, go for it, man. Don't get in trouble as long as you're in a good place that handles that. Say, hey, Texas. We got Johnny. Everybody saying hi. Okay, I'm gonna run through these quick, everybody. Everybody saying hi. I might not hit all these, but I got a lot of highs. I want to make sure. Oh, we got Coco Dutch in here tonight.
Oh, my
Hello,
birthday.
Coco. Coco, I love tagging along. I'm not going to go too far off on a tangent, but I love tagging along with you live the other night when you did your, what was it, Tampa Gardens, or I'm saying it wrong, but I had fun tagging along with you. I hope you had a good night there.
Coco's here. Shout out to Napoleon. That's our
Coco
movie.
and Brian are awesome.
Yeah, they are such a cute couple.
I know. Just like you and Anthony.
Oh,
I got you guys up there at the same level, so I love seeing that. They're good people.
they were the OGs though. Met through like the internet or like social media, and they live together in the same place. One day that'll be Anthony and I, but yeah. So they
Get it
still
going.
have to.
You got things to figure out. You got multiple states, but thankfully we're at an age where I know it's not the same, but at least there's technology where you can see each other and talk to each other. So my wife and I, when we first met, we were long distance. So I'm ancient and I'm older than my wife. So she's not ancient. I'm not calling my wife ancient. I'm ancient. So we were at a time, internet wasn't as big of a thing. There was not the video conferencing, video calls, FaceTime, none of that. There no text messages. And so when we called each other, there was long distance charges on the phone. So when you called out of town, it cost you more per minute. I wish I could have the money back that the two of us spent on long distance charges over a couple of years. But hey, you
Crazy
do what you can do.
Times have changed.
I know.
Stuff goes.
I know. And like I said, it's not the same, but it's kind of the same with me now too, with my son living out of state. It's not the same, but it's cool to be able to at least be able to see their face and talk to them face to face. And I know this is not the same thing, but it's so much more than just a voice or a text or something. But
That's how it is with my dad and I as well, because he lives in like a different state as well, and so we could call each other and FaceTime sometimes. And
yep. No, that's cool. So are you away? I want to dive into that too much, but like, do you have family around you, or are you kind of out on your own, or you don't have to go too deep or
I
anything?
live in a different state than my family, but
Okay.
like right next to it though. Like my
Okay.
sister and her husband and her family are like 20 minutes away, 15 minutes away. But then
Okay.
my dad is like 2.5 hours away. So
Yeah. So I'm in the same state as a lot of my family, but we have those last few years have been really hard getting together. They're more like anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours away. But it's funny how it doesn't seem like it's that, or to me, it doesn't seem like it's that far away, but it just gets hard sometimes to
the
make that time.
scheduling and
Hmm.
stuff, yeah, it is
Absolutely.
tricky. Yeah.
We got Caveman in here tonight. Hey, Caveman, saying, hey there, everyone. Please hit that like button and subscribe to everyone in the chat.
You were saying
Absolutely.
that I'm a very supportive person. I feel like he is as well.
Oh,
He's
yeah. No, absolutely.
always been.
Caveman. Caveman's always out there. He's always putting other people in. He'll promote other people over himself.
Yeah.
If that, yeah, I mean, and that's a compliment. Like he's very giving, promoting other people. So it's cool to see you out here. Thank you for joining in, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Jane is saying that. I'm the adopted mom. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Saying hi to Guy. Saying hi to Coco. Running through here. And we got Miss Caveman in here too. Hi to everyone. It's my fave NPR voice and Allie.
Hello.
I'm the NPR voice, I guess. So that's my little joke, I guess I get. It's funny how you get like little things that people tie to you after you've been talking to people for a while.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that you're like, not saying like known for, but somebody will like lovingly poke at you with a little bit? Like, so mine's the NPR voice, or I only own 5 shirts and I have 4 mugs of different drinks next to me when I'm doing live streams.
The only thing that comes to mind is just my love of Robert Carlyle and how I bring him up anytime I can.
Yep.
Try to promote his movies and stuff because he's so underrated. Like no one knows who he is by his name, but they're like they've seen some of his movies, they just don't know his name.
So I've heard you bring his name up before.
Exactly. Feeding into my reputation.
Yep. So I agree with you on that one. So not to put you on the spot, but if you had somebody that does not know him, never seen him, never heard of him, I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Would you, and you had to pick one movie out to introduce somebody to him? One or two. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but you'd be like, this is a good one. I know you'll like it. I know you'll like him like I like him.
Well, one of them maybe would be Ravenous, which I actually just showed Anthony on my last visit, because he gives a very like complex performance in that. So that would show you that he's very talented, very entertaining performance. And then, I mean, he's great in Train Spotting, and that's probably what he's most known for. He's my favorite character for sure. But then my personal favorite is Formula 51 because he's very funny in that movie, but also very intense. So yeah, probably Ravenous and Formula 51 for me because you get to see his playfulness in both of them, but also his intensity. And then if we're putting movies aside, the show Once Upon a Time is where I first really discovered him, and he's like the best character in the whole show. He plays Rumpelstiltskin. And then slash Mr. Gold because he plays like a dual kind of role. But yeah, I was just blown away by his acting, and I was just like, who is this guy? Like, what else has he done? Because I need to watch all of it.
So I've never seen Formula 51, so I wrote that down, and I have not watched the show Once Upon a Time. So I wrote both of those down.
Yeah, it's a very very cool show. I like got obsessed with it a couple years ago, and yeah, so and it's one that your family might enjoy too because it's like fantasy and like drama. There's like maybe some romance, like some horror. It's a lot going on, but it's a really cool concept.
So right now in the house, I only have my wife and my daughter. And if you said drama and romance, I'm pretty sure they'll get into that part there. That's kind of their things. So, and that's not a dig. It's just, you know, I'm sure they'll look at some of mine and they'll be like, oh, he likes science fiction and explosions, you know, or something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I have a Funko Pop of his character, but if I take it down, it might knock all of them down. So I don't know. But it's really cool.
Yeah, don't knock them all down.
Yeah, that would be a disaster.
So yeah. So do you collect a lot of Funko Pops?
I'm pretty selective with them, but I do have a decent amount. I could try to show you. I could tilt the screen up a little bit, but
Well, don't worry. I mean, whatever. I just when you mentioned it, I mean, someday it'd be kind of cool to dive into some of them. But I know some people that get into collecting them. There's some like, it's like a slippery slope where it's either you don't have any or you're just in it, you know. And it's like it seems like a lot of people into Funko Pops are diehard into Funko Pops. Maybe that's not the case, but a lot of people I've ran into, and I don't mean that a bad thing, but it's just like
I know
you
Tony used to be
yeah, yeah,
in the collecting, but he was able to get out
yeah.
before it took over his life too much.
He escaped.
Yeah.
And now 4Ks and Blu-rays have taken over his life.
Yeah.
It's all right. There's worse habits to have, I could say. But
yeah, I'm very particular with which ones I buy. Like the last one I bought was a black phone related one, which is really cool. And then the next one I plan to get is actually a character from Saltburn. So I'm just waiting on it to be available so I can pre-order it because it's awesome.
so for some random reason today, I was on a site that they were auctioning off some, and they do celebrity autographs, and they were doing Funko Pops, and it was just random where you bid, and then you pick a number, and they open a box and whatever it is, and so I'm stupid, whatever. I did it. I was trying it out, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but coming to me, I have a signed Funko Pop of the person. It's Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's cool.
So it's the person who did the voice, and I can't even say his name, but
yeah, I don't know what his name is either, but that's awesome.
Yeah, so I got Oogie Boogie coming to me. So I'm going to be a Funko Pop collector now with one. But
yeah.
We got Cal in here. Carlyle saying, "Hey, Wilk, what up? Thank you, sir, for jumping in here." All right, we're going to run through some of these real quick and then get into some other things. But so I know as I'm running through some of these hellos, one thing that we have talked about quite a bit, I think, through different chats has been some of the music that we love and talking about. So I know you got all your movies behind you. You love movies. I know that. Everybody knows that. But you're a big lover of music too, right?
Absolutely.
You listen to it a lot. So
yeah, I'd say they're neck and neck, like as far as how passionate I am about both. I've always loved both, for sure.
I'm the same way, and I don't know if it's the same with you or not, but there's so many songs and movies, both of them, that not all of them, but there's a ton of them that I have something tied to it. I can hear that song or I can see that movie and I'm like, I was with this person at this place and I know it was this year or whatever, you know. And do you have some of those emotional ties to some of the music or movies that you listen to and watch?
I definitely have some from like my childhood that are very nostalgic, but I actually relate a lot of songs to movies.
Okay.
Ones that like introduced me to songs growing up. And so it's kind of cool because it like bonds both of those passions together. Because it's like I have the movie to thank for introducing me to the music. And so, you know, it's pretty awesome.
So the song got you to see the movie or vice versa? Or the movie got you to listen?
Yeah, the movie introduced me to the song.
Okay. Not saying it has to be your favorite, so don't worry about, top one ever, but do you have something that comes to mind that was like a movie you watched and then ends up being some music, a soundtrack that you were just like, you came away from and you're like, I love that song or I love the music from that one?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Donnie Darko because it introduced me to Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears. And I'm just like, wow, this song is incredible. And so that was like the catalyst for me becoming obsessed with Tears for Fears and becoming a huge fan of theirs. So that's the first one that comes to mind. But
was Tears for Fear the shout, let it all out? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's back in some of my growing up days.
And everyone wants to rule the world.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
I think that is a really, really great one.
That's cool. No, I was talking about that on a previous stream where sometimes the music would come out, the soundtracks would come out before the movie would release. And sometimes I would build the the hype behind the movie and you wanting to go see that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool the other way too, where you see the movie and you start hearing music that. So one, like I said, I'm all over the place, but one I remember the movie coming out that was really big was Benny and June
Great.
with. Okay, so you know it. Okay.
Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Yep.
Love
Yep.
that movie.
So the Proclaimers, the
Yeah.
500 miles.
Yes. Great
Okay.
song.
So that was so crazy when that came out. So many of us. So I was in high school when that. I'm pretty sure I was in high school when that came out, and that song, because of that movie, just went off. It was played all the time, and everybody loved it. There you go. Yep,
Yeah,
that's a great movie. Yep.
it is.
So that movie came out. That song went off the chart. It just was like being played all the time. And so before streaming, I'm old, I know, but we were going out trying to buy it, the cassette, the in CD or whatever.
It sold out everywhere.
No, you couldn't get it because that the Proclaimers, that album that it was on, it went out of print. It didn't do really well when it in the United States when it was released. And it kind of fell off, went out of print. This movie came out, Benny and June. It was a big hit. The song was a big hit. And then all of a sudden there was the demand for it. And it wasn't anywhere. And it took a while for them to get the motion picture soundtrack out. And then eventually they re-released the Proclaimers album that had it on there. But it was just kind of crazy. I remember running around to a bunch of CD and cassette shops, record stores and asking about it. And they're just like, no, nobody wanted it when it was out. And now the movie's out and everybody wants it. But
Well, I'm glad they finally got their recognition and got those sales.
yeah, nope, it was definitely. But that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how each one can help each other out. Because like I said, we were talking to some people where you heard the music ahead of time and it made you want to watch the movie. And then sometimes like that instance, you saw a movie and it brought some, maybe an obscure song for our area. It brought it to the spotlight and people loved it and ended up wanting it. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, sorry. I go all over the place.
No, you're fine.
I'm going to run through a few more of these. Everybody's saying hi. I don't know. Cow oatmeal. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, usually if there's like a movie coming out that I'm excited for, I won't listen to the soundtrack until after I've seen the movie. But there's one instance that I can remember where I did listen to the soundtrack beforehand, or at least one of the songs. And it was actually for 50 Shades Freed. And it was this one song by Haley Steinfeld that I was obsessed with. And then when I went to see the movie in the theater and the song played, I was so excited and I was singing along to it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the song. So,
I have not seen, no judgment. I have not seen any of those movies of that series. Are they any good in your book? Are they any good?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's stuff to enjoy about them. They're very well made,
Okay.
I need to rewatch them. It's been many years, but I don't think they're as bad as people say they are.
There's a lot of those movies like that where people love to hate them.
It might not be great, but it is based on books, so it's not
Yeah.
the movie's fault. They're just trying to adapt the books,
Right.
But Jamie Dornan's a great actor, and I love Dakota Johnson. Shout out to Bob's Blu-rays. He loves her as well. So
There's been a few movies that I've really enjoyed that I've seen of hers, but because she's in Peanut Butter Falcon, right?
she is.
And I like that one quite a bit. That was one that I saw really late in the game, but ended up enjoying that a lot. But
Yeah, I was actually lucky enough to see that in the theater.
oh,
In
cool.
this small theater near me. And I think I mainly went because of her, but then I've also always loved Shia LaBeouf. So it was like, it's a win-win. Happy to support both of them.
That is such a feel good movie. That was one that hit for the whole family. That was one movie that I have a lot of misses when I'm like, oh, everybody's going to love this. And I can watch this with everybody in the house and it like falls flat. But that was one where it went well.
Good.
Yep. That and Gifted, that was another one that
I haven't seen that one, but I'm aware of it. I know it has Chris
Evans.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but Caveman was saying to you, Allie, thank you so much for pointing me in the right direction for What Planet Are You From on Blu-ray.
You're very welcome.
I have not seen that one. Was
I
that a recent recommendation or?
No, I think he had mentioned on a stream that it was not available on Blu-ray, and so out of curiosity, I looked it up, and I found that it was available, I think, at Walmart on Blu-ray. So I let him know, and
Oh, cool.
got it. So
very good. So I'm sorry. I know I'm still running through these. Are you still doing good?
Yeah.
Okay. Just everybody saying hi. Like I said, I love it.
He said the chat is lit.
The lit. There we go.
I love it.
Thanks, Sean. It's because you're in here. Saying Sean. Gizmo was saying, I don't know what it means, but I am learning English today. One morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. I'm going to skip that one for now. I'll talk to you about that later, Gizmo. See if you need help or not. No, I'm just kidding. Corey's in his safe room. Yeah. It's my safe room. I got my movies and you can't see it, but I need to get more organized. I got to get another shelf, and I have lots of stacks of movies right here, right now. So you have them all nicely displayed behind you, and I got stacks on my desk here. So,
well, it hasn't always been like this. It's only been like this since I moved here. Because before I was like living with a roommate, so I was very limited on space. So it was kind of in various pieces of furniture. And so now I was able to get proper shelves. And so I'm very happy with it.
It's nice when you can just do your thing. Like, this is what I want, and you can just do it.
Yes.
So very cool. Hey,
yeah, it was funny when I lived with my old roommate, like it was downstairs in our living room, like all my movies. And so if she would have like a date come over, they'd be like, whoa, like, are these your movies? And she'd be like, no, they're my roommates.
and they're like, oh, I thought you were cool, but your roommate's cool.
Every once in a while, she would like have me come downstairs, and then I'd be like talking about my movies and stuff with pride. I'd be like, yes, this is my collection.
Okay, so that's a kind of cool thing. I have not had that happen very often, people coming over. But isn't that a cool feeling when you have your collection? Things like you said, you're pretty selective about what you're buying and what you're putting on the shelf. And I've been that way too, because I only have so much room and you only have so much money. But it's kind of cool when a lot of the stuff, there might be some misses in there, but there's a lot of stuff that really hits for you. You really enjoy it. Yeah. But that feeling of somebody coming over that's just like, they're used to just flipping through Netflix or whatever. No shame on that, but just, finding something to watch. But it's kind of cool to share that with somebody when they come over. And they're just like, you're like, oh, what's this movie? Or, like, what do you feel like watching? And then they kind of tell you like a genre, and you're like, I don't know. It's a fun feeling to be able to share that with somebody. And I think that's why this whole YouTube thing has appealed to me, to be able to talk and share with them. Because you do that quite a bit on even like Instagram. I see you, post movies or other people's things that hit for you. So do you enjoy that quite a bit?
Absolutely. Because in my real life, like I rarely ever have people over, but like I just rarely meet other people who still collect movies.
Yes. Yep.
So if people come over here, like one time, some people that work for my like complex or whatever came in, and they were like, whoa. And I was like, yes.
Yes, I'm cool.
Yeah. So, and then even if my family comes over or like friends that don't really collect movies, not the same way that I do, but they know how much it means to me, it's fun getting to share it with them. I'll like show them my steel books and be like, oh, look how beautiful this is,
Oh, it's awesome. It's a fun feeling. But even if they don't get into the physical copy of it, there's been movies I've shared with people that they've never heard of, never seen, and it just hit them too. It doesn't always happen, but you have that, and you just get that moment where you're like, yes, where you can see it got them like it got you.
Yes.
I don't know. I get a kick out of that. So
yeah. Well, because like movie taste is so like personal, and it can be so emotional. It means so much to you. So when someone else gets it, it's just like, it's very rewarding,
You're just there and like, yep.
Yep.
Tony was saying we need a room to record. Yeah, mine would be pretty disappointing compared to yours, bud. So we'll say that.
I think most people's would be disappointing compared to Tony's.
He had That video of his, I just was like drooling watching his room tour, or his, let's say plural, rooms
Yeah.
tour.
His basement tour. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't one room. I love him. He's such a collector. It's awesome.
It
I
is.
love seeing it. Uh, Andy's Cardboard Star Wars saying hello from across the pond. Do you like David Lynch films? If you do, what are your favorites? And did you watch Twin Peaks any season? Are you going to go, Allie?
I think I've only seen one David Lynch movie. I have not seen Twin Peaks, so I can't really consider myself a fan.
I know he goes off, and that's where I gotta always look. And I'll admit right away, some people have called me out on it before, but I'm bad at like always remembering everything that a certain director or actor has been in. I know his have been kind of different. I want to say one of his was Lost Highway, and I remember seeing that in the theater. I thought it was him anyway. Somebody can get mad at me if I got that
I
wrong.
haven't seen that one.
That was one I remember seeing in the theater and just being lost. But I'm a simple person.
The only
And
one that I've seen was Wild at Heart, and I watched it for Crispin Glover, who's barely in it, but he's the only
uh,
thing I remember because his character is so bizarre.
he is good at playing bizarre
Yes.
characters.
Like
Have
if
you ever seen River's Edge?
yes,
Yeah,
he's great in that movie.
yeah. Sorry, that's the one that comes to mind all the time when I think of him.
I have it over here. Let's see. I can just pull all these titles and show them off.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Crispin? Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Corner. It's kind of rude that they have him so small.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't even have Dennis Hopper on the front of that at all.
No, or his blow-up doll.
I forget the name.
I don't either. I don't remember him.
I got to look that up.
That's a
That
crazy.
was one. That was like a cult movie in when I was like in probably junior high. That was a big one to rent.
Yeah.
It was just like one of those that was off the wall to watch, and
Very dark and just quirky and yeah.
for sure. Yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah, sorry, I don't know if we answered that. Andy, also throw in there if you have any favorites that you recommend that people check out for Lynch. Hey Coco, looking forward to hear what you and Brian think of the rotten titles. Okay.
Mhm.
Saying hi, everybody. Oh, we got Fish in here.
Aw.
Good evening, Corey and Alley. Hello,
Okay.
chat. Fish, thank you. I know this is probably late. I'm bad at keeping up with the chat, but I appreciate if you're still in here, jumping in. Everybody loves Fish coming in. So Coco saying people also think that Disney parks are for little kids, and they're literally going tomorrow. We don't care. Yeah, no, absolutely. We have some neighbors down the road from us. They're to me, younger couple. They're probably 30s, probably late or early to mid 30s. The two of them love going to Disney World, and they go there a lot. They travel there a lot, and it's cool. I mean, if you enjoy it, who cares? Go and have fun with it. But we took our kids.
Back to the nostalgia. Like I think a lot of people grew up with Disney, so it like means a lot to them and it brings them joy. So getting to go and immerse yourself into this place that's like all Disney, it's like, why wouldn't you want to?
Yeah. No, and it's been a long time ago. We took our kids to Disney World, and one thing we were talking with two couples that were going over on a little boat with us to Epcot World, and they had a whole they were like, oh yeah, we bring our grandparents too, and they watch the kids a couple nights, and we go off to Epcot to do the drinking and eating around the world. There's like different countries. Yeah. So what's the name?
This is
Ask. What's that?
Ezra. That's
Ezra.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dad, I guess she went back upstairs. So
Oh, it's all right. How many do you have?
just the two.
Two.
Yeah.
Keeps you busy.
Yeah. Mainly Ezra. He's the one that's a bit more demanding.
Yeah.
Loves to eat and loves to get into things, but he's very sweet.
Sean was saying without the community, I probably wouldn't watch the animated stuff and the PG movies. But Allie is right because we all are kids at some point in our lives. And there's some that there's some animated that does a nice walk between kids and weaving in a little adult into it, but not going too far where, it's kind of like the adults get it, but the kids don't kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
What's weird with me is that growing up, I didn't watch a lot of the Disney animated movies.
Yeah.
I watched more of the live action Disney Channel or Disney Channel and then Disney movies live action.
Okay.
It wasn't until I was a bit older that I started going back and watching a lot of the classics, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did I never watch these? Like, I've missed out." But
there's a lot of good ones there.
Yeah, like Tarzan is definitely one of my favorites. I love that.
Oh,
one.
okay.
The Phil Collins music is just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's one thing. There was a golden age, I think, of Disney where there was the music, the animation, and the story just all hit. And there's, like that one you said, like you can, on each level, you can just be like, oh, I enjoy it. Like the music, the animation, the story, and it just all goes for you. But
yeah.
You need some attention there.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep him entertained.
I love it. Oh, Busch Gardens. That's probably where Coco was at. I couldn't remember. There was one night, I know Holland was in there too. I was jumping in when I could. And we were tagging along with her. I finally seen a movie you're discussing. There you go, Fish. We'll get to it eventually.
Wax Fish?
Huh?
He's never seen House of Wax?
No, maybe. I would think he would have.
If he hasn't, he needs to.
I was just talking about that today where somebody was saying we won't go too much into it, but they were saying they wish they had a movie where the Kardashians were in it and they saw them have not a happy ending. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of like the House of Wax remake with people with Paris Hilton.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying I wish that. I'm not saying that, but
they wish that, not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cutest people is Gizmo and Corey.
Oh.
Hey, Mark, what's going on, man? Hello to everyone. Thanks for joining in, man. Always good to see you. And we'll jump through these, and then we'll get to some other stuff here. I promise. How it's so hard to not, like, when you have friends coming up and saying, like, hey, it's hard not to say hi back, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing good?
Yeah.
Okay, hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's hard to put up with me, so
no,
I gotta check in with you every once in a while. Coco saying, "Oh, thanks, Corey. I had so much fun. It was Busch Gardens. Yep, plenty more where that come from. Yep, you guys got cooler things around you than I do. So,
I do.
Saying hi to Mom too. Remember, cell phones free after 9. Okay, this is going way off tangent, and I won't go long. But I remember my senior year of college, I signed up for a cell phone plan, and you had to pay by the minute. The minute. You paid for minutes for the month. There was no text messages. And I remember my dad finding out about that and losing his mind, getting so mad at me. And I, to this day, remember him like in my face yelling.
Oh my gosh.
Like what? Well, because he's like, you tied in this financial, you had to sign an agreement. It was a year agreement. And he's like, what in the world does a college student need a cell phone for?
And nowadays
just let it sink in.
A crazy statement. For now.
And now it's like elementary kids, have more than what I had. I remember to this day, not saying he's a mean guy, but he just was like, you made a financially bad decision. You locked into this contract because they had long contracts and you didn't have a lot of minutes per month you could use. But that will stick into my brain forever. What in the world does a college student need a cell phone for? And now you got, elementary kids running around with stuff way more than what I had. But
well, something phone related that sticks in my mind forever is back when I was still on my dad's plan or something. I'll never forget. I guess I was probably in my early teens, and someone at AT&T said that they had never seen a number of text messages as high as the ones that I had sent, which I was like, come on, that can't be the case. I did text a lot, but that's...
You broke the record?
Guess so, yeah. It was the most they had ever seen. So like,
That's awesome. I always get in trouble because my text messages are usually just a thumbs up emoji or something.
oh.
Apparently that's bad. Holland was, or Gizmo was saying to Holland, Corey has married Holland. I don't have to go back to married dudes. Yep. There we go. I
What
love
was it?
Gizmo.
Handsome cowboy with a Cracker Jack. What?
But he is a handsome cowboy. I didn't read the whole thing. Cowboy with a Cracker Jack groovy attitude.
That's an awesome description.
Thank you. I will accept that, sir. Thank you.
You just need like a cowboy hat on to complete the look.
Someday I need to break out some of my old little kid pictures. So I grew up on a farm and we had horses and the whole thing. I was the one that didn't go that route and the rest of my siblings did. So I'm the normal one or the weird one. However you want to look at it. I'm okay either way. But we had so many pictures of us with cowboy hats and the little pearl button shirts and everything. So
super cute.
I don't know if I was, but
might be cute to outsiders.
no, I don't. I always I'm self-deprecating, like I give myself a hard time, but yeah, no, it was one thing that I will never, I love having the experiences that we did. And we live out in the country now, but it's just something that it's more fun to take when my kids were small to go to my siblings that still had horses that they could enjoy them and we could go home.
You wouldn't have to take care of them. And yeah.
Yep, exactly. They're expensive.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, I'm going to skip past some of these. So I apologize, people. Don't get mad at me. Please, please, please. Johnny was saying, I remember seeing Robert Carlyle in an episode of Cracker on BBC.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard that it's excellent. So
we have Cody in here. Or no, Garrett. Sorry.
Garrett.
No,
What's
Garrett.
up?
Right? Sorry, man.
You're associating like the rad dudes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. So Garrett, thank you very much for jumping in here. So, hey, Garrett, just so you know, I'm trying to make up for it. I watched your video on your top 10 vampire movies, and I have 2 that I took away from there that I'm going to be watching soon. So,
Ooh.
he had some good ones on the list. We have Ashley in here.
Oh,
And hey,
hello.
everybody.
Cutest dog on Instagram.
Pilgrim.
Obsessed with Pilgrim.
Yep, Pilgrim is pretty darn cute. Well, I'll agree with that one.
Every time she posts a picture, I'm like, heart. I'm like,
Yep.
so cute.
I was like, how can you not?
Such a beautiful dog. I'm a sucker for beagles.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He looks much more manageable than my big lab, so maybe that'll be my next one.
Yeah.
Tony was saying my wife is going through all the seasons of Once Upon a Time. I watched the whole series as it originally aired.
That's awesome. That makes sense that Tony would like it because it's based on like these like I don't know. Because I mean, it's called Once Upon a Time. It's about all these characters from like the storybooks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Snow White, Prince Charming, and Sleeping Beauty, or like Aurora, or all these kind of characters. So it's really cool how many they bring into it. Because at some point they even bring in like Elsa and Anna from Frozen, and like it's really cool the way they bring them into the show. So I really enjoyed that.
So it's a high recommend for you to check out?
Yeah, I would say it's one of my top favorite shows that I've seen because I got so invested. Shed many tears watching it.
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to try it out on my wife. I'll have to see if she would get into it or not. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to see if it's streaming on something or if you got to buy it or whatever. But
I think it's on Disney Plus, I believe.
oh, okay, we got that.
If you have that,
we should be able to get that then.
Yeah.
So sorry, everybody. I'm skipping through some of the highs, but Caveman was saying I would put the movie link in here, but if I could. But Allie recommended Formula 51. Yep, I wrote that down.
I think it's still on Tubi, maybe. I'm not sure, but I do have I wish I had it on Blu-ray, but I do have the DVD that I just randomly found in a used store. It was a miracle. I was like, oh my gosh, it was meant to be.
Who's all in that? Who's the big stars in that?
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, these two are amazing together. They're so funny.
Carlyle in Train Spottings cracks me up, like in a bad way, but in I don't know what bad way or good way or whatever. There's that bar scene that I always think of with him, where
Yep.
they're up on the top level.
Yep. And he
Oh,
causes like
Yeah,
mayhem.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's a madman in that movie
he
for
is.
sure. Uh, Mark was saying, finally talk about music. I'm just messing with you. I know, I get that, but I made the name way before I started doing stuff. So yeah, I'll mix it in every once in a while. Actually, saying 50 Shades had some banger songs in those
Yes.
movies.
All of the soundtracks are really good. That's a big thing that I love about them. Is how good the music is.
I'll have to check that out. Dale was saying Peanut Butter Falcon is great. 50 Shades is not. But that's okay. That's what's good about movies. Some things hit, some things don't for people. But Johnny was saying 50 Shades of Grey, aka mommy porn.
Wow.
We'll go to the next comment.
I mean, I read the books when I was in high school. So, yeah.
I've heard people say that before, but Holly was saying I'll watch the sickest stuff available, but 50 Shades is too sick for me. People like to hate it. There's like certain things, even music too. It's funny how there's some things that were really popular at one point, and you knew everybody or listened to it and loved it, and then it gets to a point where it's the cool thing to hate it.
Like
Really. Yes. So that's exactly what I had in my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nickelback. Everybody all of a sudden hated it. And I'm like, okay, they didn't like just sell all those albums to nobody. I mean, but then it like kind of comes back around. So I've seen a little more love coming back to them a little bit lately, where I've seen it like, oh, it's okay. You're listening to that song or this song, but yeah, that's a big one, but there's other ones too. Like, that I can think of. The 90s and early 2000s had a lot of bands, I think, that kind of fell into that, where they were popular, they got really big, and then it was cool to hate them. And then now they're kind of coming back to like, it's okay, you can listen to them again. But yeah, Nickelback, that was a huge one.
They had so many great songs that were huge hits. So I'm like, yeah. Like those, that hate is very undeserved. So.
Well, it's just kind of funny because it's like when you say like those albums didn't get sold to nobody, you know, like when they sell all those albums, especially at that time where it was not as much of the streaming so when you saw those levels of record sales, I mean, not saying the greatest band ever, but it meant something. I mean, there was a lot of people buying it, and we got another guest appearance
On the table just to be here and I can pet him. There we go. We'll see how that works.
That's funny. No, it's kind of funny how it goes in and out where, you know, everybody liked it. And then it's like the cool thing to hate it. I remember that too with, Fred Durst and,
Limp Bizkit.
Biscuit. That was a big one too, where I remember that was huge for a little while. And then it was like, no, I always hated it. I'm like, well, somehow they sold all those. Like I said, I'm not defending them or saying they're greatest or band ever, but it's just kind of funny how that kind of ebbs and flows like that. But,
Yeah, for sure.
all right. We're going to run down through some of these here real quick. Tony was saying Laura Dern is amazing at everything she does. So Johnny must have said something and I missed it. Oh, here we go. Inland Empire by Lynch made me my damn head hurt. Laura Dern is amazing. And I have not seen that one yet. I've heard it's kind of trippy, but
She was also in Wild at Heart. So.
oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Anthony was saying, I thought Lost Highway was good Lynch film. It was Patricia Arquette, Bill Pullman, and Robert Blake as the mystery man. That was the one I remember seeing in the theater and walking out and be like, what the, but so whenever that came out, I don't know what age I would have been, but I remember I was a lot younger, and I walked out of that like thinking, what did I just watch? I gotta look at 97. So I would have been late. I was almost graduating college at that point, but I remember walking out of that one just thinking, what in the world did I just watch? Have you seen that one before?
I have not.
Okay. It's It's up there. It's a little different. Lynch is good for that.
I like Bill
So,
Pullman though.
oh
So
yeah, yeah. It was a different role for him, I'd say, but a little more serious. But Fish has not seen House of Wax.
well, now I'm telling you to watch it as well, Fish, because it's
So
my favorite
Fish,
horror movie. It's my favorite horror movie.
Fish. There's no way you cannot watch it now.
Have to.
You got
So
the nice release of the slip and everything.
yes, yes, I pre-ordered this baby soon as it was available, and I have the poster on my wall.
So Fish, we're gonna check in with you a little bit later.
We're gonna
No,
DM
I'm
you
just kidding.
every day until you said you've seen it.
Have you watched it? Have you watched it? Have you watched it? We're gonna give him a hard time. Anyway, Corey is talking about Kardashian. Now I've heard everything, so I can die.
Oh,
I wasn't really talking about them. I said other people were talking about them. Steve was saying I wasn't prepared for Naked Lunch from Cronenberg. I've not seen that one.
I haven't seen that one either.
Okay. I'm going to run through. So people, I apologize. I'm going to run through some of these real quick because I want to be respectful of your time, Allie. I know we're talking along. I'm having a blast. So hopefully you're hanging in there and doing good.
Yeah.
We got Ashley saying, I saw Nickelback live in 2006. Yep.
It was like
No shame in my love for the
peak
band.
years for them probably at that
Oh,
point.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But it is crazy how some of those where it's just like, they're so big and then it goes to where, no, the cool thing is to absolutely hate them.
Yeah.
Anthony was saying Lip Biscuit kicks ass. It's my way or the highway. Yep. Someday we'll see things my way, but you never know when you're gonna go. So that song, yep. Gosh, I'm trying to think of the actual title of that. That and I don't know why, but at the time, Break Stuff. Was that Break Stuff? Or
Yeah.
what,
That's
was that this song right here? Or is this a different
No,
one?
I think that's a different one.
Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna claim to, but Break Stuff was one that I remember listening to
Oh
a
yeah.
lot. That was like your I'm gonna get pumped up or angry
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. When you need to just let it
Let off
off.
some steam.
That's a good one to listen to. Yeah.
Yep.
For
I
sure.
remember that one for sure. That and was it 3 Days Grace with Animal or Riot? Riot. That's what I'm thinking of. Let's Start Riot. Do you know that one?
3 Days Grace is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking old guy music now.
No, I love it.
Saying hi. Okay. Fish was saying I'll definitely
yeah.
check it out for sure. Okay. We're getting close to the end here.
Oh my gosh, Anthony, don't tell him that.
Make sure.
Do not show your daughter any of that vinegar syndrome stuff.
Save her. Don't do it. I could tell you, Holland, you'll be scared and block me. You don't want to lose. I will see the movie myself since it's your number one of all time. Mm-hmm. They got a little bit. Let's start right. Yep. How can you not get pumped up when you're hearing that song? Okay. So, Allie, I told you I go way off track, but it's because I love talking to the people that I have on here, and I'm loving talking to you too. So I'm putting a pin in this right now because I know we're an hour in, and we haven't talked about the movie we're going to watch tonight.
Yeah.
And this one that you, when you found out I had not watched this before, you were just beside yourself. You were like, Corey, I thought you said you watched movies, and what are you doing here? So tonight, I know we showed it earlier, but I had Pineapple Express was the one we had on for tonight. So what is it about this movie that you have love for that you're just like, you got to watch this? What would you kind of wrap it up real quickly with?
I mean, the cast is great all across the board. Every single character is just funny and entertaining, great actors. I mean, yeah, the writing is just top notch. It's funny, the entire movie. It's such a fun time. So.
I would say that for sure. It was, and I needed it last night. So I watched this last night for the first time, and I like to try to do it as close to talking to like, so with you, I wanted to watch it as close as I could to actually talking to you about it to kind of keep it in mind and not lose it in other movies I'm watching. And it was perfect for last night. So it was like, not saying like bad week or whatever, but just you got your week going on, work, stress, everything. But it was like a fun sit down, just, you don't have to think hard about it, and just a fun time. And one thing that we were talking about is, and I think part of the fun of it, you said the writing of it is so many of, it's like there's so many quotes through the whole movie that you can just laugh about. And I know you said you wrote some down. I wrote some down too. Some of them I know might not be like, oh yeah, that's a big quote, Corey. But for whatever reason, it made me laugh, like physically laugh. And so I wrote it down. And that's a awesome thing about movies that can bring out true emotions from you. And to be sitting there worn down from a week of work and adulting and all that fun stuff, nothing bad, but like, I'm not saying like, oh, woe is me, but to sit down and have a movie, and my wife walks down the stairs and be like, what are you laughing about? Kind of a thing. And I'm like, oh, this silly movie, but that's awesome. And I loved it. And it was perfect timing for it, for sure. Do you have, I'm trying to think of how the best way to dive into this movie, because I know it's not a super deep one, and that's not a knock on it. It's not a knock at all. It's fun, but I'm trying to find a good way to go into it. I don't know. What do you think? I don't want to go like just dive like scene by scene through it, but maybe what are some of the things that you still draw? You said the writing of it, the cast of it. What is it that I know I'm failing here right now. I'm trying to think of a good way to go into it. So I had fun with it too. I was already talking about the quotes. Is there any one that pops out to you like right off the bat that you're just like, if I'm going to talk about this movie, this is going to be one I'm going to talk about?
Well, Anthony already said one of my favorite ones, which is, I thought hurricane season was over.
Yep.
Love that one because he says it multiple times. He's like so tickled by it that he's quoting it again. And then one of the other ones was said about the jawbone.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that one's great. Oh man, there's just so many. I'm trying to think because I don't have my list in front of me. But
so it's so weird. So it's kind of funny with this movie. Okay, and also, I did not realize until I was looking up through these things that it's so like absurd. Like, so we got a guy that's doing his mundane job of his life. He's 25. It says in here he's dating a high schooler.
Yeah,
but she's 18. She's 18. I didn't realize that was Amber Heard.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until I was like looking up some stuff on IMDb, and I'm like, no way. I didn't realize that was her. Which is funny too. Like I looked up because I was like, okay, how old was she at the time? So she's playing a high schooler and she was 22 at the time. So it's kind of funny how that always works out. But I thought Seth Rogen and oh gosh, why am I blanking on his name now?
James Franco.
Yes, how they played off each other. We were talking about this before we went on live, where it just felt like I would love to see all the behind the scenes, all the things that didn't make the movie, because it just felt like they were like, go play and like riff off of each other. And they looked like they had a blast doing the movie.
Oh yeah.
So I thought there was like some weird dynamics with it. It's a very simple story. We don't need to go like way into it, but I don't know why, but when you're talking about quotes, I don't know why this one caught me funny, but when Seth Rogen, he goes to Franco's place, his drug dealer,
Yeah.
for like one of the first times. And he's like kind of lamenting about like, oh, I'm so like, my girlfriend, she's in high school, but she's 18. I'm just like, all her friends are like really hot and they're like funny. They do great impressions. of
Jeff
oh,
Goldblum.
yeah, Jeff Goldblum. And there's just, I don't know why, but I laughed out loud when Franco was like, he goes, "Oh man, no, you're awesome." He was like, "F Jeff Goldblum." I don't know why, but it just was like some of those little off the cuff remarks. I don't know, it caught me funny and made me laugh about it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a weird one. And it's kind of funny with a comedy too, where there's some are deeper and you kind of dig into the whole story and how complex it is. And I'm not saying that's bad with this one, but with it being a comedy and pretty simple story, where it's a situation where he witnesses a murder and goes back to his drug dealer friend. They get tied to it, and then just the hijinks like that happen from that point
Yeah.
there. I don't know. I could easily say this is such a fun movie. I'd recommend it to people to like to go out if you just wanted to like have a good time, turn
Yes.
your brain off and like watch it. It's definitely a fun time. But and it's got a huge cast in it too.
It does.
I got to say, like some of my favorite parts. I don't know why, but Danny McBride being in
All of
that,
the scenes were so funny.
he makes me laugh so much. But some of the initial scenes in the apartment when they go to visit him,
Yep.
and I don't know, what do you think about him in the movie?
Oh, I love him. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. Like I would say Saul, played by James Franco, is my number one favorite. And then Red's probably number two, played by Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah, no, it's no, sorry. I'm trying to figure out where Chad is on this one too, but that whole scene when they go in to talk to Danny McBride, and that's where I would love to know how much is actually written and how much just happened as they're going along. Because
Yeah.
there's the whole exchange between Seth Rogen and Danny McBride when they first kind of meet, and the whole like kimono. See, I don't know why that it made me laugh so hard. And like him, like, see my armpits? They're shaved. And he's like, what does that have to do anything? He's like, it's aerodynamic. I can fight, or whatever. And he's like, I don't think you're cool. I'm cool. And he's like, oh, I'm cool. And he's like, no, Danny McBride's like, no, I'm cool. I'm wearing a kimono, dude. I'm cool.
He's like, what are you wearing? Like,
Yeah. What are you, a suit? There's just so many of those little off the cuff comments that, I don't know. I had a blast with it. I had such a good time. But that's where I feel like I'm feeling talking about this one, so much, but,
well, it's like the overall story is simple, very straightforward, but it's just like all of the stuff they get into and all of the dialogue is so rich and so entertaining and funny that it's like we can tell you what the plot is if you haven't seen it, but it's like you just have to watch it for yourself.
yep, absolutely.
It's the humor because it's just never ending. And it's so
I know that's what this is one of those where you could just go down through it and be like, oh, but then this quote or this quote. And it's like, it's funny, but it's like, you almost just got to go watch it. But,
do.
Anthony was saying Craig Robertson is hilarious in the movie too. It looked like the Hamburglar. Dinner is going to be cold tonight, asshole. Yep. Kind of forgot about that. Another one that I wrote down. That's what's funny. Not to just go down quotes, but like I said, oh gosh, no, I don't have the right page on it. One of them was, when they were talking about, so the whole Pineapple Express, this is supposed to be this special weed that they, so unique or so special. But when Franco was like talking about it and was like, oh, it's so great. And it was like, I almost feel guilty about, smoking this because it's like killing a unicorn. And I don't know. There's just silly stuff like that they throw out there that I had a blast with. So I'd have to say this was such a great recommendation. It's a good lift me up one.
It is. Yeah.
So do you watch a lot of movies like this then? Or like,
I'm not
or do you,
good about rewatching a lot of movies. I'm getting better because there's a lot that I haven't seen in so long that I'm like, I should revisit this. But I
yeah,
think Full Express I had seen maybe a couple of years ago. I watched it with someone, but yeah. I mean, comedies in general, I don't watch a ton of them nowadays because, as all of us know, today's comedy is just not good. but we have so many gems from the past that we can revisit that are hilarious. So I do love watching a lot of comedies. Like The Hangover is another one of my favorites. You know, they came out like the year after the Pineapple Express, I believe. Um, so I do love watching well-written comedies, but we just don't get those very often anymore.
No, I agree. It's good to mix those in. It's fun to do that. But Anthony was jumping in here too, saying Danny McBride saying, "You shot me in the stomach. I'm gonna die now, probably." His character, I loved his character in this,
Me too.
but I think he's funny too. And whether you think his humor hits with you or not, it does for me. So I loved him in this whole mix.
I think
Of
this is one
things.
of his best roles for sure.
Oh, I would say that for
So
sure.
funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the whole fight sequence in his house is just gold. It's so funny.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Caveman was talking about when they did James Franco did the cross joint. Yep. There was a few things that were, I hit that again. So yeah, it was kind of funny, but, are you celebrating that it's only 6 weeks till RoboCop 2014 finally comes out on 4K? Okay.
I'll answer that for him. No.
Uh,
My
Anthony was
gosh.
saying the Dad in Pineapple Express is fantastic. Yeah, get the F out of my car. I can't believe you thought that would be an option.
Oh my
There were
God.
so many funny moments, like awkward, funny moments in the movie. And that's where I'm saying it's like so hard to find a good way to talk about it, but it's so funny where, yeah, Danny probably was saying, I'm going to use the telephone to call my wife. Yep.
Even that one is like such an intense encounter because then Seth is like, give her a call. He's like, I will, you know? And then he just
I
kind of
will.
walks off in the background. It's like, don't listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah. Don't be listening to what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Oh no, that's good stuff. And then, that's where I'm so bad on, actors names in this, but there was,
I'm great with names.
you are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm horrible. So now I'm cheating and looking up, but Craig Robinson, one of the thugs that was going
Yeah.
around, I thought he was funny in that quite a bit. And he was talking about, Anthony was talking about the dad, but it was Ed Bigley Jr. So it's kind of cool that see him in there, but
Because what
yeah.
else has he been in? I know that name and I know I've seen him in other things, but I
Oh
just,
gosh, he's been in a ton of stuff, but it was more early 80s.
yeah.
I want to say like sitcoms and movies, and I couldn't even tell you, but I just remember a lot of sitcoms and like made for TV stuff that he was probably in. But I don't know why, but it completely blows my mind that that was Amber Heard, the high
Definitely
school girl.
early roles for sure.
I didn't recognize her at all.
Because
So
she's not like dolled up at all like she usually is. And she's like a side character, so she's not super important or anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I just watched it, and when I was looking up things to talk about for tonight, I came across it. I was like, oh, I did not know that, but I honestly don't know a lot of the stuff that she's been in. So unfortunately, most of the stuff I recognize her from is the trial stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think I've only seen her in a few things. But
Anthony was saying the epic shootout in the third act was great. The nearby scene, Allie.
so gross. So gross.
That did make me cringe a little bit when he was like taking the bit and was like, maybe I can just push it back on there. And he's like, no, infection. No, leave it alone.
The way they did that with like the prosthetics looks so good, so real. I'm like, man, they did a great job with that.
Oh, that was another thing that made me laugh on that one too, where it was like, he's like, no, it's okay, or something along the lines. He was trying to comfort him and was like, think of Evander Holyfield. He's okay. After Mike Tyson bit off his part of his ear. But Jane was saying Ed Begley was on 6 Feet Under, Ellie. Okay.
Hey, I did watch that show, but I don't remember him on there.
I remember we were talking about that the other night. I have not watched much of it. So you guys are like both of my best friends. You didn't even know it, but yeah.
That
That was
encounter,
probably like the end at the, what's that?
I said that encounter is really adorable at the end.
Yeah, at the
like-
restaurant.
Hmm.
So there's like so many scenes in this movie, like I'm saying, like I think that was totally just like, this is a scene, go. And they just let them, and for like 20 minutes of film, they probably filmed for like 3 hours and just like let them just go. And they just picked what they thought.
about that scene in the diner. I bet they were just like, just have fun, because it
Yep.
felt just so off the cuff,
Yeah.
having fun.
And it just looked like they were laughing about it themselves as they were going along. And I see Anthony. Yeah.
Capping the movie pretty much, and it was
Yeah.
funny. So
Yeah. And as Anthony was saying, BFFF. Yep. Best effing friends forever. Yep. Yeah. It definitely was good. So, where does this rank on your comedies?
pretty high. I mean, I rated it 5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd after
Did
my
you?
yes, because
Okay.
I think it's timeless. It's hilarious. It's great. Never gets old.
So I try not to look out on Letterboxd of what people rate. So when I did this, I purposely tried to not look at what you rated it at, and I don't rate it before we do this. I gotta, and I'm bad at the whole star rating thing. This year I'm trying to do it more, but man, it's up there. A good time. And it's like one of those I watched. I'm like, why did it take me so long to get around to watch this thing? But now I have seen it. Now
There's
I have
so
it.
many.
Okay. Sorry. I know I'm jumping all around. People probably hating this. Like, I don't know why it popped into my head, but right off the bat, I was like, what am I watching? The way it started the movie, the whole kind of flashback. Bill Hader was hilarious, I thought, in the whole opening scene of that.
I love Bill Hader.
So I saw a steelbook of this, and they had the guy in like the old scuba suit type of thing with the big metal helmet, and I was like, what in the world is that all about? And so I got that after the beginning of it when they came in there. But that whole his little stint at the beginning of the movie, I thought that was pretty funny. I like him a lot.
Yeah. It is a cool way to open it.
We'll see what we got. Johnny was saying, can't believe the guy who directed Pineapple Express gave us the Exorcist Believer movie. Was it really?
Yep. David Gordon Green.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Let me make sure. Yep, David Gordon Green. Well, Johnny's probably not going to like me after I say this, but I actually really liked Exorcist Believer. I thought it was really good. So.
Okay, Johnny, it's been dropped down.
Yeah.
Come at us. I haven't seen it yet, so.
But I'm also not a huge fan of the original.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I enjoyed this one more, I would say. I don't know.
So a lot of people throw the first and the third up there really high.
I mean, the third one is number one for me.
Okay. I was going to ask where was that with you, but
yeah, that one's a masterpiece. I was blown away by that one.
Anthony was saying, James Franco, you threw up on my printer. Did it break? Yeah. And then he was like, I don't know.
That scene is great. When he busts in and he's so frantic and he's like trying to explain to him what just happened and he just can't get the words out properly. He's like all sweaty and stuff, and then he gets sick. It's so funny.
Coco threw out a good one. The box of nerds out. Yeah. That was that whole last. So wasn't that when they were like they were trapped at the end of it?
No, I think that's when they first go to Red's house.
Oh, okay.
And him and Saul are like talking about it, how they know each other and crazy stuff they got up to. Yeah.
So when I was like thinking about when they were trapped at the end down in that bunker area, that whole scene with them trying to break out to try to break the tape of it.
Yeah.
That has to, that's where I want to see a behind the scenes thing. That has to be just like a total, like, you guys are trapped. You do something funny to try to escape. Go. And it's just the two of them going nuts for a little while.
That everyone behind the camera was like covering their mouth, trying hard not to laugh at that.
Oh, absolutely. Because there was so much of that. I'm like, okay, come on. But, and then, that Craig Robinson kept on coming in. I don't know why I found that funny too. He's like, dudes, we can hear everything you're saying or whatever, like we know you're trying to escape or whatever. And then you go back out and they're like, they keep on doing the whole thing. But that has to be, there's so many of those scenes where they were just like, here's the setting, do something funny to try to get out of that and just go. And there was probably like 3 hours of film to do, like, 20 minutes of that film, but
yeah.
I was funny. Sean was saying, LOL, some like Believer more than the original. The chat has been reduced to 0, LOL.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's like
Never hate.
I like all of the stuff with Reagan in the original, but it's all the stuff with the priest that I just found really boring. So it's like I just wanted to see the mom and Reagan. Like, all that was really well done and interesting, but then it kept jumping back to the priest, and I was just like, ugh, I just don't care, you know.
Yeah.
But
I have not seen that, the Believer yet, but now we've gone to Exorcist, but Anthony was saying 3 is perfect. Perfect film.
yes, yep, he actually gave me his Blu-ray of it.
Look at him being a nice guy.
I know. So generous. Yeah.
Tell him to upgrade more of his movies.
He's given me several. Gave me The Wicker Man. He gave me what else? I'm trying to look at all of these. Psycho 2. What else? I'm sure there's more. No, he didn't give me that one. Dark Man. He gave me The Crow, like I told you earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giving me a lot. Oh, The Blob. Yeah. So he's giving me some really good ones. So
Okay, so you guys gonna have a hard time someday when collections are will they be merged or kept separate?
I kept separate. 'Cause we both collect like differently, but we do have crossover as well. Like we have some of the same stuff, but we like organize them differently, and we both enjoy collecting so much that you know we both take pride in our collections because they represent us individually.
Oh, sure.
So
No, I'm not saying in a bad way, but it's always kind of curious when I've met a couple other people that each of the parties have a big collection of their own. And it's always curious, like if they were to live in the same space, like how that would work out and all together purge some stuff, or like, no, we're keeping everything, but it's going to be separate. Not the same bad in either case, but it's always interesting to see how people work with that.
yeah, because everyone's different,
Yep.
and it varies person to person.
So I know we're moving off the topic of the movie for tonight, but that's okay. But K-Man was asking if you enjoyed Orange County.
Yes, I do. That movie's hilarious. When Jack Black rolls down the hill, so funny.
And then Johnny's throwing out his from Franco. What's down there? A rancor? Probably from the Star Wars reference, but I think that's probably when they're going down that pit. But Gizmo was saying, I'm always dizzy. It's called being sober drunk Holland. Must I teach you everything? Yes, Gizmo, you show us the way at all times. Okay. We'll go through some of these. We got a new face, I think, in here. Marianne, how are we doing? New friend here.
Welcome.
Well, I appreciate you jumping in. See, Allie, you come here, new people jump out, come to say hi.
Maybe
Hopefully
they came here for Pineapple Express. They're like, ooh, someone's talking about Pineapple Express. Let me join in here.
And unfortunately, they're joining my stream where the movie we talk about is this much of it, and the rest of it is... That's okay. But Marianne, thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it very much. Hopefully we'll see you around again, even when Allie's not here. But, Max Van Shadow, boring. Allie, no. And one of the new films that actually puts Priest in a hero role. I love The Exorcist. Gizmo, you like starting conversations. We'll just say that.
I'm trying to think of the first priest character that comes to mind that I actually like, which I am biased because I love Ethan Hawke, but he's really good in this. So
I've never seen that one before.
it's very good. I saw it. Yeah, I liked it.
Where did my pen go?
It's an A24 movie. And I love that slipcover. It's really cool.
I've never heard of that one.
I think it's from Paul Schrader. I think he's the director, who I believe did Taxi Driver, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Let me make sure that I'm saying that. Yep. written and directed by Paul Schrader. It has a very memorable, like, final image / scene that will never leave your memories. So
I'll have to check that out. Anthony's saying from Orange County, Jack Black, get in the damn Bronco now. I need to watch that again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, that was one my sister and I loved a lot growing up.
Oh, it was tough.
Okay. Yeah.
Laren was agreeing that Orange County is so good. Oh, then we got the conversation going on. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up Johnny here. Let's not forget Franco watching a classic NBC sitcom, 227. Yeah, he was funny.
Since the hurricane season was over.
Yeah. Yeah, he repeats that a couple times.
Like, hurricane season was over.
Yeah, he thought that was pretty funny. That was like some of the parts in the apartment. That's where, gosh, I thought I had him like right here. But there was a couple parts of that. I don't know. It was just kind of funny when they were like sitting there talking, and Seth Rogen's trying to get out. He's like, "Don't get caught in there. You know, just like do the transaction, get out of there." And Franco's just like, "Hey, what's the rush? You know, we can hang out and we can look up like crazy stuff on the internet or whatever." I don't know. There was just like little things like that where I was just like, "Oh, that's kind of funny." But
yeah, his character is like, even though he's a drug dealer, he's like has a very sweet nature to him. Like you can tell he's just kind of like lonely and really likes Seth's character and just wants to like hang out with him. You know?
Yeah.
So he's like any excuse to get him to stay. You know,
and his whole purpose behind the whole thing was he's paying for his grandmother to be in a nicer retirement home, you know.
Yeah,
so
his bubby.
Yep, his bubby.
So cute.
Yep, that's kind of funny. But no, I could just go down through that whole movie. I need to watch it again because I know that I miss quotes. Because at a certain point, I stopped writing down quotes because I was just like, okay, just watch the movie, Corey, you know, and not just try to write stuff down. But it's going to be one of those that I could see why people quote it so much and go back to it. Definitely is a good fun time.
Absolutely.
So with this being, I know veering off this a little bit, this one put a smile on my face last night. Do you have movies like this or any others that you're like, oh, you're in a bad mood? Check this movie out. It'll put you in a good mood.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Grease 2 is the...
Oh, you always throw that one out there. I
love it so much. Makes me happy. Never gets old.
Will you get mad at me if I've never seen that movie before?
No.
Okay.
A lot of people haven't because they assume that it's bad because it's a sequel to Grease, but it's its own thing. You know, it's a very different vibe. You get new characters and new music. It's just, I think it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more playful than Grease. So.
Well, I wrote it down. I will have to check that out.
And I think it's a lot cooler than Grease as well. Just like the look of it, the characters, and yeah.
So we got Pineapple Express, Grease 2. Any others that you're like, this is going to put a smile on my face if I throw it in the player?
I mean, just all of my top ones, like Back to the Future,
Charlie's
Angels, Dumb and Dumber. This one, Inspector Gadget 2.
Okay.
It's a childhood favorite that I just love. It's so silly and stupid. And
is that Matthew Broderick?
No, Matthew Broderick was in the first one.
Okay.
French Stewart was in the second one.
Okay.
I prefer. He is like, I think he's a better Inspector Gadget because he does the like physical comedy, which I love because I love Jim Carrey, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah.
So I think it's always good to have movies like that in your collection that even if you've seen them a million times, if you're having a bad day, you can just throw it in and
absolutely
have a smile and forget about things.
I have so many of those. Yeah.
So going along with that too, I'm going to get back in the chat here a little bit with movies. Do you have that with music as well? Do you have any that this is going to put, if you're in a bad mood and you need to be a little pick me up, do you have any music that you listen to? And not to put you on the spot. If you don't worry about it. We can move on, but.
Well, so I use Spotify obsessively. So I have different playlists. So I have like a playlist of like nostalgic music for me or like oldies or, you know, musicals. So my musicals playlist is probably the one that's the immediate mood booster. I can just put that on shuffle, and you get a little hairspray, you get a little grease too, and it just lifts my spirits.
That's awesome.
That's
So you got a good mix of, so not only movies but like music that you listen to.
oh yeah.
So because I know we've talked about anything from like Kiss.
Hmm.
You're a big Kiss fan, right?
Yes.
You're like a little more deeper cuts that you kind of like on that.
Yeah, and just the original lineup.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I do like the song "Lick It Up," which was not the original lineup.
Yeah.
'Cause that one's a jam, but I do prefer the original lineups um, albums. But yeah,
No, that's awesome.
for the deeper cut songs and not the ones that play on the radio all the time. So,
Right. So you're Kiss with makeup, not Kiss without makeup,
I mean, I
or not
do
necessarily.
makeup, but then because Ace Frehley is my favorite member, like the spaceman, I mean, I love his solo stuff as well, where he didn't have the makeup on, he was just being himself. Um, but yeah, I guess if we're talking about Kiss, then yeah, I would prefer them with the makeup, even though their album Unmasked is like one of my top favorites, and I feel like it's very underappreciated. So it has a lot of jams on there.
I'll have to go back. I know I was checking out a playlist that you had when we were talking about it previously. So it's kind of fun diving into that. And there's definitely some that I had not heard of, but then some I'll be, oh, I remember that one coming out, or not coming out, but like hearing it, younger. But it's cool. What got you into Kiss? I'm just out of curiosity.
So I think the actual catalyst, I would say, was the show, The Umbrella Academy. I think that's what's
Okay.
called on Netflix,
Yeah, yeah.
because there's like this epic shootout scene that has "I Was Made for Loving You," and it
Oh,
plays,
sure.
and I was just like, "Whoa, what is this song? Who is this?" And when I
Yeah.
found out it was Kiss, my mind was blown. I was like, "They have music like this?" Like I've only ever really heard, you know, what is it? What is their most common one? Why am I drawing a blank?
Oh, like Rock and Roll All Night, or,
Yeah,
or
that
I can't think of the actual title, but
yeah, it is
yeah.
called like Rock and Roll All Night, I believe. But that
Okay.
one's so overplayed and repetitive, and I was just like, wow, I didn't know they had music like this. So then I checked out some of their music, and I was just like, what? Why is none of this higher up? Like, why does this not play on the radio? So
So one of them that I always remember, and I got to look up to actually see what all the tracks were on there, but my brother was 6 years older than me, or is 6 years older than me. But so I got into a lot of 80s rock, 70s, 80s rock when we were younger. And for whatever reason, I always remember one cassette that I would borrow, and I had to make sure to take it back because I'd get in trouble if I didn't put his cassettes back, but was Animalize. Kiss, Animalize. And so for whatever reason, I just remember that one. He had it, and I can't even tell you what tracks are even on that, but I just remember the cover of it. Now I want to go back. So after this, I'm going to probably pull it up on Spotify and listen to see what was all on there. But I don't know. That was just one I remember.
yeah, they had some iconic album covers like Destroyer. I mean, that's like one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite albums of theirs.
Yeah.
And what is the other one? Dynasty. That one's amazing. I love that cover art with just like their faces and like the different squares. And then Unmasked. Yeah, those are probably my top three albums of theirs.
Well, in this one, it wasn't anything special, but I just remember it being like, I'd have to look it up, but it was like animal prints or something like that.
Is it like a zebra print?
Yeah, something like our leopard or zebra or multiple or something.
Yeah.
It was something. I just remember that, and I'm gonna have to go back and look at it now. So yeah, great conversation, Corey. Like, you remember? You don't know what it is, but
No, it's cool because I feel like there's certain album covers that just stick with you that you remember seeing, as a child. I feel like there's definitely some like that for me too.
and that's what's funny is what's changed over the years as well. So going back to the 80s, one I remember was from Poison. And I don't know if you remember, it's like a devil face almost. So the original cover, it's a big red face, kind of a devil looking face, and has a huge tongue coming out.
Yeah.
Well, the original came out with that, but apparently it was too much for people. And so they switched the cover. So if you look, there's some where it's a black cover, but it's like ripped across and all you see is the eyes. You don't see the mouth and the big tongue coming out. And I remember that was a big deal back in the day where like, which one did you get? Were you able to get the original cover? So it made me think of collecting slip cases or like collectible movies now where like, were you able to get that slipcase?
Yep.
That's so like it was a big deal that you were able to get that release before they edited it, you know.
It was like a limited run,
almost, but not on purpose.
Yeah.
It was kind of censored basically.
Oh.
Like where it was like, oh, that's too much. And it's just so funny. That was too much. And now you look at what's on regular TV.
Like nudity pretty much on these album covers,
I know. But that was the big thing so I grew up in the era before the parental advisory logo. You know what I'm talking about? The black and white. Yeah. So in my childhood, that came out and there was the whole scare of parents leading up to that. And I still remember one night, I've told this before on a live stream, but they would have like, I was very rural America, very rural farming community. And I remember my mom coming home from a parent teacher conference, freaking out and pulling all my cassettes out. And they had all the liner notes and the lyrics in there, reading through that. And because of what they told them, it was the whole, I think other people talk about it in other areas, but it was like the whole satanic panic kind of a thing where it was like, oh, if it has this little symbol, that means this, or if it has this, that means that, or this, if it says that in the lyrics. But I remember one night coming home and she had all my cassettes out, the liner notes all spread out, reading through the lyrics and asking me to explain to her why I'm listening to certain. My gosh. And I'll say this, I love my mother dearly. She was trying to be a good parent, or she is a great parent. I don't mean it that way. But at that moment, when you get scared, and she was trying to do the right thing. I still joke with her today about that, where I had never had so much fear in my life when my mom had all my cassette tape lyrics like spread out. And half of the time, I didn't even know what the lyrics were saying. Yeah, exactly. But
see, I had a similar situation with a certain movie, but it was with my sister, not my mom. Because like my mom and I used to live in this apartment, and the guy that lived above us passed away. And so I guess when they were cleaning all this stuff out, they threw out a bag of horror DVDs, but they just like put it next to the dumpster. And so I saw it one day and I was like, what's this? And it was like a bunch of good titles, and they're all in good condition. So I think I took all of them. One of them being The Devil's Rejects.
Okay.
And my sister found out about it, was just like, no, like this movie is horrible. Like you do not need to be watching this. So while I was gone, she took it and tried to hide it instead of just throwing it away, which would have been the smarter choice. Somehow I found it. She had like stashed it behind my mom's dresser. Why she thought that was a good idea, I don't know. But I found it somehow. I don't know how I found it. And I was just like, I'm putting this back in my collection. Like, you got to try harder next time.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I was just jumping in here. Johnny was saying, great. I was going to crack open my 4K of The Crow to check it out, but now the two of you are making me want to rewatch Pineapple Express.
Very different vibes. So
very much. Yep.
Yeah.
One dark, one just fun.
Yeah.
Anthony was saying, I like Donald Pleasance as Priest in Prince of Darkness. That movie rules. I'll have to check. I don't know if I've actually seen that before.
I haven't either.
Hey, Collector Movie Man, if you're still in here, I know I'm behind on the chat. Thank you.
A little Grease 2 quote. I appreciate that.
Okay. See, I missed it because I don't know it.
Any excuse for me to show this off. And I will.
No, that one looks good. I'll have to watch it. I got it I wrote it down again. I've heard you talk about it enough times where I know I need to see it.
That movie will be my legacy.
Yeah. That's yours?
Yes.
Gizmo saying Michelle Pfeiffer is hot in Grease too. First time I said that, I promise.
She's so beautiful in that movie. I love her character.
I didn't realize she was in it, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
she's the lead. A way better lead female than Sandy in Grease.
That was Olivia Newton-John, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing against Olivia. I think she's beautiful and lovely, but the writing, like the character of Sandy is just not a great one to look up to. Whereas Stephanie in Grease 2 is. Because she
I
stays
don't.
true to
I had to look.
herself and doesn't do what everyone expects her to do just because she's a woman. She dresses how she wants and, you know, kisses
Oh,
who
it's,
she wants when she wants, in her words.
I had to look it up because I couldn't even remember when it came out, but it's 82, 1982.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been an early one for her then, probably.
Yeah. If you hear that, it's my.
I hear it.
Fine. Yeah.
Just saying hi. It's
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I completely missed where I was at here, but all right, I'm probably gonna skip over
talking about Michelle Pfeiffer being hot.
Yep.
That was the last one that I remember.
Gizmo saying Anthony. I agree, Anthony, but okay. Oh, probably with the Pleasance. Yep.
Grease 2.
K-Man was saying Grease 2 is on Paramount, just FYI. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Anthony was saying, I think he serves his role well. Okay, going back to the priest. I mean, up against Satan, LOL. Most of us would poop our pants. Yep. All right. Grease 2 is also on my shelf. How's it going, guy? Yep.
Fish's shelf is quality because it has Grease 2 on it.
He hurt me on a game show we were doing, one of the streams. He was pulling too much stuff off of his shelf, matching what I had. So I was finding that out the hard way.
What?
I think Allie is cooler than me.
Why is that?
Because of Grease 2.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I need an explanation.
Yeah, Larry, you got to throw that out there. You seem like a pretty cool guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he is cool.
Anthony more it's his job. Okay, they're talking about you can get going on movies for a long time, but Allie, what songs would be on your high fidelity tape according to for Anthony? Or tape recording for Anthony?
So like if I made him like a mixtape, I guess. I do have playlists of songs that like remind me of him or something like that. I'm trying to think of like one that comes to mind. One that I did say could be our song. I know that's kind of personal, but it's a great song, and it's that like "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now" by Star, because I love that song. It's so good. Yeah, that's a great one.
They have some good ones. I don't know what. As soon as you said that, not taken away from that one, but I always think of "We Built the City."
Oh yeah,
from that.
That's a jam too.
Yeah, sorry, but no, that's cool. That's cool. It's kind of cool what people latch onto and have for them. That's an older one too. So, but that's my time. That's before your time.
I love a mixture.
No, it's good. It's good to do that. It's fun to do that. It gets boring when you just stay within a little thing. But
yeah.
K-Man was saying at least she wasn't spinning your records backwards, Corey.
Her mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. Looking for the message. I was like, I didn't get you at first, but yes, there was the whole thing about, does it have a message when yep. Nope. Didn't do that. I like the Devil's Rejects. I've, the free zombie film, probably 3 zombie films I've seen.
Ooh, what are the other 2 that you've seen? Because I would say his Halloween and Devil's Rejects are my like top 2 favorites of his. I agree, Johnny. Okay. I like it better than House of a Thousand Corpses. For sure.
It's been a while since I've seen them. Love Prince of Darkness. Good call. I have that seal book, Allie. Grease 2.
All right. Caveman, your collection is quality as well.
You are good in Allie's book right there.
Stephanie Zanoni, my queen.
That's funny.
I love her. And see, that's saying something for me because I'm kind of notorious for not always latching on to a lot of female characters because I just don't relate to them or care for them. But she's one that I love, you know.
Okay, I know, like I said, I'm all over the place when we're talking. But okay, when you say that, relating to characters, do you ever find that even just in real life, like talking to people? Do you ever? So when you say that, do Do you have an easier time having a conversation with a guy or a woman?
I don't think
Or
I
it
lean
doesn't matter?
there. It just depends on the person. Some people are more open to conversation and easier to talk to. So
I was just curious because somebody brought that up to me, sidebar conversation, not on stream or anything, but where they just were like, it was a female saying I have an easier time talking to males than females. And when it just made me wonder to ask you that when you said you could just relating to characters on the screen, but
I mean, in the
not that
past,
it's always the same, but
maybe I feel like I did bond more with guys because I would have more in common with them, like our interests,
Mhm.
like loving movies and horror and all this stuff. So
Right.
a lot of times I would relate to them more than the girls. But at this point in my life, I do feel like I can bond with anyone. Just depends
Yeah.
on.
Well, yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean you couldn't, but it just, if one, I don't know. It just made me. It just hit me because I just was like, I just recently had a conversation with somebody where she was like, it's easier for me to talk to a guy than a woman, and I'm like, okay. It doesn't mean that they can't, but when you said that about relating to characters,
Yeah.
sorry, just maybe,
No, you're good.
like I
It is
said,
interesting.
all over.
Interesting.
Well, and just because it's one way for one person, it's not for the other, and it's just human dynamics and there's always kind of weird stuff. I always find it interesting to look into.
I just think it really depends on the person.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gizmo was saying that he has that release as well. It's a beautiful
Yes.
steelbook.
Yep. I knew he owned it because he's a fan of Grease too as well. So his
Well, apparently I'm out in the cold. I don't have that one. But,
I think it's pretty cheap. Like
oh, is it still available?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cheap.
Apparently I'm going to be making a purchase tonight. No, maybe.
I support this. And just so I know I talk some smack about Grease, but I do own a beautiful edition of Grease as well.
Okay.
I love it. I wish that Grease 2 would have gotten a cooler release like this. It's like a yearbook, but I'll take the steelbook because it's still something special and beautiful. So.
No, absolutely. It looks pretty cool. Oh, I think Fish was saying, sorry, Corey, I come to play. Yeah, when I was saying he was beating me on some where I'd be like, nobody is going to have this. And then Fish is like, hold my beer. Hold my beer. I'll be right back. He's awesome. Caveman was agreeing. Starship is awesome. I might have to listen to that tonight too. Allie, what is your favorite steelbook?
Oh man, my favorite steelbook.
Anthony's putting you on the spot in front of everybody. That's hard to answer when somebody just asks you something like that out of the blue.
Oh man. I'm leaning towards. I mean, this is definitely one of them.
I have that
just
one.
because that artwork is unreal.
Yeah,
gorgeous. That's definitely one of them.
I already had that movie, and then when I saw it in Best Buy one day, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to buy that one.
And then this is another favorite, Rocky Horror Picture Show, because
nice.
The artwork and like the detail it has, all the characters. It's so gorgeous.
I love that. I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, I got it off of eBay. Got lucky with that one. What else? I mean, I do really love this one as well. Shout out to Brian Goes Blue.
Oh,
he knew nice. I wanted this one. It's just poppies galore. It's so beautiful.
That's a great movie.
It is. Yeah, I was very happy to upgrade that one. And then this one, I think this was actually my first steelbook that I ever bought because the artwork is just so gorgeous that I was like, I have to have this. The only way that I want to own the movie is with that steelbook. So
it wasn't too long ago. I posted a picture of mine, and you were like, "Dude, look at my post from forever ago. That was like my first steelbook I got, or something along those lines, wasn't it?"
It was.
Yeah, because you were like, "That was my first one, and this is my post I had." And so it was kind of cool to have that interaction with you with that, where I bought it used. I already had the movie, but I was like, "Oh, that steelbook is too cool.
It's gorgeous."
Yeah, I loved the artwork on it all the way around it. But it was cool to see that when you were like, "Oh, look at this post from." I can't remember how long. It was a long time ago. It was quite a while ago that you had, but you're like, this was my first post of my first steelbook kind of a
I
thing.
know it is cool to be able to like look back at that date and then see how many I have now, like all these years later, which
Oh yeah.
it's still growing. I actually have one arriving on Sunday that I'm very excited about. So
Secret?
no, it's The Gate,
Oh, okay.
the new Vestron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I already had the Blu-ray, but I do love this movie, and that steelbook artwork is just gorgeous. So I was like, I gotta get it. So, very excited.
I love it. Yeah, fish don't come. He doesn't play with tournaments. Nope. I agree, but it's fun. That's where we go on those. Have fun with that. Anthony with the hard questions. Allie and Corey, what is your favorite film of 2024 so far?
I'm leaning towards Immaculate.
Oh, okay.
That one's high up there for sure.
I have not seen it yet, so I can't say that one.
Very
So
good.
I have to see that one. I'm gonna say Late Night with the Devil.
Great
From
choice.
what I've seen, I had a lot of fun with that. I need to
Have
see
you
Immaculate.
seen The First Omen yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So it'd be interesting to see what you think of Immaculate since you saw The First Omen first.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people comparing the two.
Yeah, I think they have some similar subject matter, but Immaculate is like a standalone story, not connected to a franchise. So it's different, but handles similar subject matter.
Yeah.
But
There's a YouTube channel, In Love with Horror, and I've had them on my channel before, but they were doing a giveaway of a free ticket to The First Omen.
Thank you.
And so I won it, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I could use it at my theater. And so I ended up taking an afternoon, and I did a double feature. And I don't remember the last time I did that, but I went and saw Abigail, and then went and saw The First Omen. And I had fun with both of them. So I always feel bad with a horror movie saying I had fun with it. But
well, Abigail is fun.
yeah,
but
that one was fun.
and way more serious.
It was way more serious, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. So
Did you
we'll see.
see Abigail first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So went Abigail, then First Omen. But and then I was like feeling all proud of myself. I'm like, wow, that was awesome. I did 2 movies in a row in the theater. And then I think the other night I was talking to Bob, and he did like 5 or 6 in a row.
I don't know how the heck he can do that.
No, like for real. Like I'm not 5. It was like 5 or 6, and they were all movies I want to see. And I'm like, dude, I want to see those too. But man, I felt like I was inside for a long time for those 2 movies that I did. But
I know when he told me that, I was like, do you drink caffeine? Like, how do you stay awake for that many?
you have to.
I would have to bring like a couple energy drinks to get through
Oh
that.
yeah.
And
But
I don't even know if I'd make it with the energy drinks. I'd probably still crash.
well, technically one was the next day because I think it started like at midnight or something.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
still, I was like, okay, you're stronger man than I am. So
Ugh, I couldn't
Game
do
Man
it.
was had missed the comment earlier. New generational trend is going out in public without your phone for 30 minutes a day. We did that every day. Yeah, we did it more for than 30 minutes. Do you ever do that? Like just walk away from technology for a bit,
Like leave my house without it? Or just
even if it's taking a walk. You know, like I'm going to go outside for a walk for 30 minutes without a phone, without a tablet, without anything. Just walk away for 30 minutes. Not for a drive, just a walk around or something.
No, I don't usually go for walks.
Yeah.
Because I live in like a city, like a big city. So
Okay.
you know.
Or do you like sit down to read a book and shut off like silent the phone and everything? Just like, you know what I mean? Like kind of shut off outside distraction and focus on something other than that. For
The only time I would say I do that is when I'm flying to see Anthony, and I can't.
you have to.
That's when I try to read because it's like, okay, I don't have any distractions. I can just sit here, it's quiet, and I can read. So I did do that for a little bit, but then a lot of times I'll listen to music as well. So, but at home, no, I have a hard time doing that. I'm usually either, watching something on my phone or watching a movie or texting Anthony or we're FaceTiming, so I don't
Well, that's a
rest
different situation.
my
too.
eyes from technology as much as I should.
So I've gotten into a habit of doing that actually. Like, and it's not every night. There's some nights I'm on way too much, but certain nights where I'll take my watch off and my phone, put it away, and I walk away from it and I do something else. But
That's good.
what's funny, the some of the people that have the hardest time with me doing that are the people I would think that would say you needed to do it. So it's like my mom and my dad, like older generations, where now they've gotten used to like sending a text and getting an instant response back. Like, and then when they don't get a response in like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, it's
Worry.
all, yeah. Then
Yeah.
my wife gets a text and be like, she's like, "Hey Corey, your mom's asking if you're okay," or something like that. I'm like, yeah, the phone's just upstairs and I'm just walked away from it, for a little bit, but it's just kind of funny. But I've had that before too, where somehow I grew up a long time in my life of not having that, but then you drive away from the home and you realize you don't have your phone and you almost panic and you got to go back to go get the thing. But it's
Yeah, you
like,
feel very vulnerable without it because you never know if something's going to happen and then you're not going to have your phone.
yep.
You might get to see Mila as well. She's demanding some attention.
Well, bring her up.
Here she is. Oh,
Got to get the fur babies in.
yeah, she's used to me, I guess, being in bed by now, giving her some snuggles. So she's like, well, if you're not coming up here, I'm coming down here.
We got Laren was saying, haha, just seems like the only people I know that are fans of Kiss's deeper discography are very cool. Do you have a CD collection, Allie?
Well, thank you. And I do have a ton of CDs, but I don't listen to them because my car doesn't have a CD player. So I do most of my listening on Spotify, but I still keep all my CDs because most of them are like very, nostalgic for me and near and dear to me. And it's a big case of it. It's probably like this thick of a case. So it's years and years and years of collecting. So I'm like, I'm not getting rid of these.
Yeah, I have a ton of CDs still, but I wish I would have taken better care of them. But I still have a bunch of cassettes and CDs from growing up. But
Oh, yeah, me too.
I used and abused them, in a car, just throwing them around or like, oh, I don't have the case, just toss it over there. And
Yeah, I think we all did that at some point. And then
yeah,
went the hard way when we couldn't listen to it anymore.
yep.
Dang it.
Oh, Fish was correcting me. It's not hold my beer, it's hold my wine. So sorry, Fish.
Fish
I'll
is
remember that.
classy.
So, yeah,
Classy and beer.
you got the pinky up when you're. No, I'd give you a hard time, Fish. That's cool. True Dad. Okay, we'll run through here. I know we're running long. Are you still okay for
Yeah.
just a minute? Okay. All right. I don't want to keep you too long, but Gizmo saying, Corey and Allie, have you ever. Gizmo? No.
No.
Nope. Nope. I'm going to say no on that one. Jinja Ninja, thanks for jumping in here. Hello, everyone. How's it going? We're doing great. Thanks for jumping in here, man. Love seeing you. And Gizmo, thanks for the awkward question. So I always got to give him a hard time because he gives me a hard time. So it goes back and forth. So
He enjoys writing crazy stuff for us to read out loud.
I know. And then I get halfway through reading it and I'm like, nah, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, he used to do that to Alan all the time, and he learned eventually. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna have to proofread this first.
I know. I got to do that first but I'm still a rookie. I just click on it. I need to read it first before I do it. But Sean was saying, I got to get going soon, but this was a pretty cool stream and hopefully we'll see more of Allie on here. And thanks for having her on, Corey. Take care and have a good weekend, everyone. Thanks for stopping in, Sean.
Thank you.
You're going to be on some stuff here soon, aren't you? Or
Yeah.
not?
Hopefully.
So what, do you have anything planned right now or?
No, there's something like in the pipeline with Bob's channel, but I don't know when exactly. Sometime in the future.
Yeah.
He's pretty booked and busy with those game nights and his movie recommendation streams. So it might be a little bit, but eventually we have something.
He's going full steam again.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm supposed to be on one coming up here. Not too long. I don't have my calendar. Well, no, I do. The 21st,
Nice.
May 21st. I think I'm on one. So I got to always look. It's always kind of fun. He like does that. And I'm trying to do that too, like schedule things out pretty far. But then I got to look with him. It's always like a game show. And so there's a lot of other people. And so some of the fun is then trying to go out and look when he posts something to figure out who all else is going to be on the stream. So it's always kind of fun. But,
Yeah, it's always a great bunch of people.
oh yeah, no, he's good. He's good about who he has on there. But John was saying, remember Corey Bob is a lot younger than we are. He'll treasure sleep when he's older. Yep, absolutely, like me, because I'm old. Have you ever? Well, okay, maybe I should have read that. Maybe should I read that one first before? No, I'm just kidding.
Film festivals.
Have you ever been to a film festival? Normally, we get 6 to 7 films a day. Best time ever, especially when you visit B festivals in Europe. I don't know what that is, but you meet a lot of actors and directors before the screening. That sounds like a completely awesome time that I have not been a part of before.
Yeah, I've never been to a film festival either.
I would love to. So we took a trip not too long ago. We were in Austin, Texas, and not on purpose, but we were downtown Austin, and I could not figure out why things were so busy. And then people started walking in, and a bunch of people had different lanyards like hanging around their neck. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I looked it up, and it was South by Southwest.
Oh man,
was going on.
yeah.
And so they have like tons of bands, comedy acts, movies, early showings, from all levels of from like the big, like it's in the theaters everywhere to like independent. And I started looking into it. I'm like, oh, I'd love to hit a day of like, I don't even care what it is. Just, it'd be fun to be a part of like something, but
Yeah.
the tickets, the passes were so dang expensive for that one that I was like,
Believe it.
I can't even remember what they were, but I was like, I can't do that, but I'd love to do that. So that's where I think it'd be really cool to do one that is more of independent films. Maybe sometimes they're more accessible than, like the directors, the actors, actresses that are in it, to be able to meet them or, get to know more about them. But
It would be
no,
really
I got to travel somewhere else. I don't think they come around my home too much, but
yeah.
I'll say meow.
Oh, I guess that's when Mila made her appearance.
Probably. Happy Optimus, can I get your thoughts on the current young generation appreciating cinema and following your footsteps to becoming a physical media collector? We still discovering classics. So I would just say I think I see a ton of younger generations than me fully embracing it and bringing it, keeping it going. I think I was a generation where I started to abandon it. So I was a big technology person. And so music and movies. So I'm starting before internet, and then more streaming services coming out. And I was like, this is great. It doesn't take up as much space. And like, I can just like get everything at my fingertips until you can't get everything at your fingertips and then find, kind of going back. So I think my generation was kind of one, or at least me, I'll just like, not my generation, but myself, I kind of abandoned it. And then I came back to it because I found reasons why it's beneficial to have those things sitting on your shelf to be able to get them when you want them. But I see a lot of younger people fully embracing that. That's why I see like so many like vinyl records being sold. Even cassette tapes were making a comeback, or VHS tapes, it's kind of cool. And I'm not asking age, but I know you're a lot younger than I am, but that's where I see like you have all those movies behind you. And I know that's just a fraction of what you have. So have you always been collecting physical media, or was there a point where you were just like, you dove back into it?
I was actually thinking about that earlier, of like when I remember having a collection. And I was probably in like high school, but I've always had physical media because I, grew up in the 90s when it was big. So like I always had VHS tapes and DVDs and CDs, and then I think it was when I started like really getting into movies and like certain actors exploring their filmographies that I like started really collecting and having a collection. So yeah, probably junior high or high school, something like that. I remember having like shelves of movies, but I've always loved and appreciated physical media for sure.
So did you just get into that on your own or through friends, or did your parents or anybody you knew like get you into it, or always? So like myself, growing up, early set or late 70s, early 80s, we always had a record player, and we didn't have a ton of them, but I just always remember my parents having vinyl records and having fun listening to those and playing those, and that kind of I think helped get me into like wanting cassettes and then eventually CDs. And did you have anything like that growing up, or was
Well,
it on your own?
Well, I guess both of my parents, like, I grew up in a household where we watched a lot of movies and we always had DVDs and VHS. So I, was aware of that concept and all of that. And then I guess once I got older, because I've always been super passionate about movies, but I guess I reached a point where I was just like, I want my own collection. Like, so I started doing that. And we had this awesome store that I would always go to that unfortunately closed several years ago, but it had tons of DVDs and Blu-rays. It was like used and new, and it was like the coolest store ever. Like, so I bought a lot of stuff there, and then from like Blockbuster and stuff like that, and yeah, it's just kind of gone from there, and been growing it ever since. So,
Oh, that's fun. That's where I collected a lot, and then I purged way more than I wished I would have. You hear all the stories all the time of like, oh, I wish I would not have gotten rid of so many things. But I don't know, at some point when the whole streaming thing kind of came out, it was just kind of like, oh, I don't need this. It will always be available to me on streaming, and I don't have to take up any space. And then you kind of have that tipping point of like,
yeah.
oh, what do you mean you took that off of that streaming service and I can't watch it anymore? And I still stream a lot of stuff and I still enjoy it, and there's a purpose for that. But there's also a big thing to be said for having it on a shelf, and no
Yes.
matter what the licensing rights going on are,
You
you can
always
go out
have
and watch it. Yep.
access to it. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gizmo was talking about Scream Fest in Hollywood is superb. You pay by the day and you get to see like 7 films the day. Last time I was there, Mel Gibson was there and James Franco from our movie tonight, and some other actors I don't remember. Yeah, the entire main cast of Wolf
Oh
Creek.
wow, that's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to go to something like that. I'll have to look that up, see what time of year that is. That'd be cool to see. That'd be something I'd love to do. I'd live just in an area that nothing like that happens close around me. I would have to travel a little ways to.
Yeah, we
to see
have
that.
like a film festival where I live in Memphis, but I've never been. Surprisingly, it's like I probably should go as much as I love movies. But
Yeah,
yeah, I need to just keep an eye out for it because it'd probably be a lot of fun.
yeah, absolutely. Fish was saying I used to sleep all day. To Johnny, don't sleep any more than 4 hours at a time now. I guess I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I don't sleep a whole lot either. I stay up late,
I stay up too late.
and then I get up early too because I like, yeah, it's like I kind of want my cake and I want to eat it too. Because it's like I want to stay up late, but then I also want to get up early so that I have the whole day. It's just, yeah,
I do this. I do the same thing, and then I'm like, oh, why am I tired?
yeah,
But I'm like that too, where I'll get done doing whatever I need to do for the night, and I'm like, oh, I can fit another movie in. I can go down
yeah.
and watch a movie or whatever. But cool. I'll run through some of these. I know we're running long here, so I appreciate you hanging in there. We'll run through a few more, and we can kind of wrap up. So I appreciate you hanging in there. I know. I told you, I warned you right off the bat. I go long, so
No,
sorry.
it's fine. I mean, I'm enjoying the chat. So
Oh, good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. We got Happy Optimist was saying I can get your. Or no, I read that one. There was another one he read here. Here it is. He goes, I'm a singer songwriter and thinking of collecting vinyl in the future, movie wise. Physical media here in the Philippines are so damn expensive, and we are known to just stream stuff.
I
Confession.
don't blame you if it's that expensive.
Oh, it's hard because I'm sure, like in the Philippines, you have to import so many things. It's just like in the U.S., we're very lucky of what we have available to us, but there's certain things that are from the UK or Australia that I've purchased before, and when you figure in all the importing, the fees and the shipping, it adds a lot to the expense. So no, I don't blame you one bit at all. It's It's what you can do. And I still stream a ton of stuff.
Me too.
There's so many things I would just buy if money wasn't a factor. But there's a lot of things I'll stream first to just see if it's even something I want to think about buying. But,
Yes, yeah, I'm so particular that I rarely ever blind buy things.
yeah.
So I try to watch it first and then decide if I want to add it to my collection or not. Every once in a while I'll blind buy, but it's very rare.
So maybe I'm cheating, but like some of my blind buys anymore have a strong recommendation from somebody like you. So like if you're like, we're talking about Pineapple Express tonight, you're Corey, you got to see this movie. Like before buying or watching it, I went out and bought it because that's the fun thing with the community here where I kind of get to know. So say I know what you like and what you don't like, and you kind of see what things you gravitate towards. And then when I hear you say a strong recommend on something, and there's a lot of people like that I've been following that, so maybe it's not truly a blind buy because I have somebody that I consider, I respect their opinion on the movies and kind of know what they like. And if they like these and they're really recommending that one, I love it. No, I love it. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's blind buy to me that I haven't seen it before, but it's not completely blind because I know what you like and I hear you recommend this other movie.
Oh my gosh.
You've been leaving them alone too long. I'm taking too much of your time. And
No, he's been laying right over here. He's fine. Okay, laying down on the table now, so he's fine.
That's funny. But you know what I mean, though? It's like, it's not truly a complete blind buy when I know what you like. And then I'm like, okay, if you like those and you're also saying you like this one, okay, I'll take a chance on that one then. But do you ever do that where you'll buy a movie you haven't seen before? But so if Anthony says, buy it, or is that not fair? Because
he's more likely to blind buy movies that I recommend than buy.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times it backfires on me.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to think. For example, the movie The Watcher with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
It was on Groove for like really cheap, and he had talked highly about it. And so I blind bought it and like I liked it, but it wouldn't have been one that I would have added to my collection. So I was like, you know. Okay. And the same thing happened with Xanadu because I love musicals and I love Jeff Lynne from ELO. And so I was like, I got this movie.
Yeah.
And I liked it. But again, it's not one that I like loved and would have wanted to add to my collection. So because of backfires like that, I'm like, okay, I don't need to blind buy stuff.
There's only so much money, right? And only so much room. And
yeah, I need to just stick to renting things because you can rent it pretty cheap on like Vudu and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just look and see if there's a streaming service or Tubi or something that you can check it out ahead of time. And
yeah, for sure.
Fish was saying, I loved looking through my parents' LPs and my favorite cover art was Heart, Bad Animals, totally 80s. I'll have to look that one up. Do you have a cover art that sticks out in your head? It doesn't have to be your favorite ever, but just one that you're just like, oh, I like, and it doesn't mean it's your favorite and there's no others that you like above it.
I'm trying to think of one from like when I was like young, one that came to mind. Well, do you know who Ashley Simpson is?
Yeah.
Her debut album, Autobiography, that's a great album and a great album cover that, you know, I listened to obsessively when I was young. And I do love that one.
Okay. No, I had to look it up. Okay.
What about Bowling for Soup? Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Love them.
Okay.
And so I'd say their album, like A Hangover You Don't Deserve, that's a great album cover. And then there's one called Drunk Enough to Dance, which is great. All their albums, the names are
that's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go off of Fish's, going back more 80s. One, I don't know why it always would pop out in my head, but it was the debut, The Cars.
Oh, yeah.
That first, the steering wheel, the lady, I don't know why. That one, I always go back to that one. I think about it. It's very simple. But,
is the album called Moving in Stereo? Or is that just a song?
I think that's definitely a song that's on it. But I think I think it was just the Cars for
Okay.
that album. I think it was just their debut album, and it was self-titled, I think.
Okay.
But Moving in Stereo is definitely a song that's on that
But yeah,
that album. But that one, that cover, I don't know why that one always
very
pops
iconic.
out in my head.
Yeah.
And I have that record downstairs,
Nice.
so for
That's
sure.
great.
Are there any upcoming movies or physical releases? Look at Anthony with all the questions
I know.
coming up that you're looking forward to.
Well, upcoming movies, I mean, Terrifier 3, I got it. That's one that comes to mind. Maxine, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I would see that one.
What else am I most excited for? Those are definitely top of the list that I'm most looking forward to. And as far as physical media releases, I mean, I'm still waiting on my Killer Clown steelbook that I'm so excited about, waiting for that to be shipped. And then The Gate, which is on its way. Immaculate. Yeah.
Anthony's almost got me talked into buying that Killer Clown steelbook from
You
his
should.
video that he did on that, and then I was commenting to him. I have an old Blu-ray. I don't have the nice Arrow. I don't have the steelbook,
Yeah.
but I have an old Blu-ray. What's that?
Work? Is this what you have?
Yep. That's it's a Blu-ray, but it's the artwork.
It's so ugly. I can't wait to get rid of it.
But yeah, that's the one I have. But when I was commenting back to him, he's got me. I let's just say I have it in a cart and I am looking at it. But
I was there when his steelbook got delivered. It's gorgeous. So,
and you're like, is this for me?
oh, yeah. He was smart and pre-ordered his through Scream Factory. That's why he got it. And I ordered.
Yeah, he had the poster and everything with it. So.
Yeah. But I didn't really need the poster. I was like, I
Right.
really just want the steelbook. So I was like, I don't need that. But then I have to wait a little bit longer, but it'll be worth it because it is a beautiful steelbook. And because you have the same hideous artwork that I do, please upgrade it.
Yeah. I'm so close.
The steelbook is just such a better representation of the movie because of the colors, and it's just that artwork is so beautiful.
Oh yeah. No, it's definitely a very colorful movie. So I know I'm close, but Happy Optimus was saying, but rest assured that I respect and love what you do in your collection. I'm here for no fighting or beef. No, absolutely not. Respect should be given to those who had different opinions. Absolutely. I completely agree. So I'm one that I have no problem whatsoever if somebody's like, it doesn't make sense to me financially or space wise to have a physical collection. I'm just going to stream everything. I totally get it. It can, I have no problem with that. So I do a balance between the two of them because I can't buy everything. My budget and my space, I can't, I say I won't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, so no, absolutely. Happy Optimus. I have no problem with people, even that if they say I'm strictly streaming because, it's just what works for you. So if you don't have a lot of space or you want to watch your budget, whatever, you can just subscribe to like one streaming service and have probably more to watch than you'll ever be able to get through, you know?
Yeah.
So can you hear my dog? Sorry. He was
I think I did hear a little something.
He's saying hi.
But you can probably see Ezra's ear if I do this. His little ear up in the corner over here. He's laying on the table right next to me.
Oh, there I see it. Yep.
Yeah. There it is.
Yep. That was awesome. All right, we'll run through here and we'll wrap it up. I know I went way too long for you. I apologize. Okay. Are you still doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the name of the festivals you have, Allie, if you know?
I think it's just called I don't know. It might be just called the Memphis Film Festival, something like that. It's not anything very creative. I think that's what it's called, but
there was one. It's probably a ways away from you, but I thought it was in Tennessee. There's a musical outdoor music festival that I had some friends who work with go every year, and I'm blanking on the name of it now.
I'm not a big festival person.
I'm not either.
Concerts go, it's just too much for me.
Oh, Bonnaroo.
Yeah. Ezra, can you get out of here? Yeah.
Bonnaroo. I had some friends from work that would go every single year to Bonnaroo. And it was always like this super hottest time of the
Yeah.
year. And
He's gonna knock this over. He's
just want
oh
some
my god.
attention.
See, it's already happening. Go
Just want
away.
some attention.
Oh my gosh.
I can't do a full weekend festival thing, but
No.
even concerts sometimes. I always joke that I'm selectively antisocial. Like I love being around people and talking to people, but there's sometimes like I love the idea of a concert, but I get to it and sometimes they're bigger than what I'm thinking. And I almost am like, maybe
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. I can only deal with it in kind of short bursts. All right, now he's trying to jump up in my lap. We'll see.
We'll run through here and we can start wrapping up. I'm sorry. I know you can cuss at me behind the scenes here in just a little bit for keeping you too long, but
No, you're fine.
Anthony was saying, I would love to meet John. Is it Jarrett?
I think so.
Wolf Creek. He's amazing as Mick Taylor. That's not a knife. This is
This is
a knife.
annoying.
So I have Wolf Creek and Wolf Creek 2 both in my collection. I have not watched either of them yet, so I need to do that.
Yes, you do. They're great.
Wait, you're not going for a few more hours? Allie set a time limit, and I've already busted that, so I'm
Well, I mean,
sorry,
if the
Allie.
chat's still going, it's like we can keep going. If people are still enjoying it, then I feel bad to leave. It's,
Well, I just feel bad because every time I've asked somebody a time, and I'm like, oh yeah, we can do that, and then I go over it. But
well, see, I had a feeling that we'd probably run over just because this is like our first time hanging out and
it's me,
friends, and
and
so
it's me,
yeah.
and I talk too much.
I knew that we're already compatible and that we would have a lot of fun. So it's not surprising that we're going over. So I was just giving like kind of a rough estimate. I don't think I'd be up for like 4 hours, but if we go over to like 3, it'll be fine. It is Friday anyway, so.
I know, but I feel bad about that. But
Oh, that's okay.
that's why you just get talking. I love talking with you. So, or who like I've been really lucky about the people that I've had on here.
Leave me alone.
Your cat wants to get in there.
Gosh, he keeps trying to sabotage us.
Gizmo was saying to Happy Optimus, is the prices lower or higher for you if you order from China? I know my friends in Taiwan always buy from China because they get good prices. I don't know. Talking, but I'm sure they've checked it out if they're looking around. But Gizmo to Holland, no, but tell me Holland. Oh, okay, we'll pass that one. We'll pass that one. Happy Optimus.
Dodged that one very well.
Yeah, sorry. I need to read before I click on things.
But. Come on. Just come over here. Sit still. He's like a child, He's just like, oh.
Well, they get to a point where they want you to show them attention. So
Yeah.
we'll skip down through some of these real quickly.
Did you hear that?
I heard something. I didn't know what it was. What is it?
A little meow of his.
Oh.
Trying to see if I could get him to meow again.
I was being quiet so I could hear.
Oh my gosh, he's getting comfortable. Okay.
Fish was saying, pull the trigger, Corey. That steelbook is gorgeous. Plus, the movie looks so good.
Yes, Fish did a great unboxing of it. And really showcased how beautiful it is.
I know. There's so many fun things to
And like once
buy.
you see it in person, it's like when you can see it up close, it's even more beautiful. The detail, it's crazy.
Well, that's what I've heard from a lot of people, that it looks even better in person than what you can see on videos. But Happy Optimus was saying, fun fact, if you've seen Lisa Frankenstein, Lisa Sobrano, sorry if I said that wrong, is the second Filipino actress to land a Hollywood role. Okay, cool. Tony was saying, I won't be able to keep up the pace of buying everything. Absolutely. Space is pretty tight as it is. No, I can understand that completely. I don't have anything near what you do, but I know whatever space you have, it at a certain point, it's pretty easy to start filling it up, and things are just so pricey too. So no, but Tony, you have such a collection and knowledge of movies that you do what you want to do and what works for you, but you have enough knowledge and enough collection that you could talk forever, even if you stopped buying stuff. So,
For real.
and put videos out about things that'd be interesting to me to watch without even buying anything new. So, yeah, you got to definitely do what's right for you. Absolutely. To fish, the 4K transfer for Killer Clowns is so great. Oh gosh, am I gonna be? Ezra wants to be heard or hear, like put the ear up there.
He does.
I wonder if I'm gonna be buying Grease 2 and Killer Clowns Steelbooks after this.
You need those steelbooks in your collection.
Yeah, it might happen.
Because do you own Grease?
No, I don't. I do not.
Well, now you really need to buy Grease 2, because then you can say, "Oh, I own Grease 2, but I don't own Grease."
There you go. But I have seen Grease before multiple times.
Yeah,
but
me too. Yeah, I grew up watching it and loving it, and I don't know at what point I saw Grease 2, but I've always loved both of them. But then once I got older, I was just like, I enjoy revisiting this one more, and I like the music in this one more, and the characters in this one more.
Oh yeah.
Now it's my thing. So.
Well, I know what I'm going to be searching for after this stream here, but Happy Optimist was the last one. For a young mind of a 22-year-old, it's a huge privilege and honor to share my knowledge about movies and music. Love what you love, people. I love you jumping in here and sharing it. And I don't think age means one thing. Just because you're young or old doesn't mean you know more or less than the other person. Age is just your age. It doesn't mean how passionate you are or how much knowledge you have on the subject. So I never consider that when somebody's giving me recommendations or telling me about movies, because there could be a 13-year-old that knows way more about movies than I do, or a 80-year-old. You know what I mean? It's it doesn't matter the age. So cool. I'm glad you jumped in here and was sharing what you love. I appreciate it. Gizmo saying Basic Blues, I hear you. I need to get the 2 new busts coming out, but I don't have room. I don't know what busts they are, but I know like those things can take up a lot of room when they're cool, but Tony was saying, send me your Jack Skellington to Gizmo, and that will give you some room. I'll have to look at that one. Probably is a pretty cool one. I love A Nightmare Before Christmas. Ginger was saying, I did meet him once, John Jarrett, and having dinner at a local pub, and I met him there. Cool.
Very cool.
That is awesome. Did you approach or just sit back and just take it in that you were near him? Fish was saying, just like a cat, when you want to love them, don't touch me. When you are doing something, why aren't you paying attention to me?
My cats are pretty good about letting me be affectionate towards them whenever, though. They're very sweet. But
all right. Laren just said we got to go all night long.
Oh, wow.
All night. Till the sun comes up.
I'll just cancel all my plans for tomorrow.
Cancel them. And Laren, you got to stay with us the whole time. Yeah. No. 4 hours later, and Allie says it's okay. We can keep chatting.
If the conversation's good, then, then it's good.
All right. I just feel bad because we pushed it for you.
No, it's okay.
Gizmo was saying, Basement Blues, I did not know you could be that rude, Tony. Tony could never be rude. He might be to the point, but he's not rude. I'll say that. But that's not a bad thing. Fish was saying, that sounds familiar, Tony. Are you okay to keep going? I say that a lot, it seems like, because I think I talk too much. I know I asked you about some things that you had coming up, and you said some things were in the works. I know you do some stuff on Instagram. Do you just have fun jumping on? And there's not a good or right or wrong answer to any of this stuff, but do you just have fun jumping on things like this, or do you have any desires to do things on your own, or you're like, no, I'm good where I'm at right now?
Yeah, I don't really have any desire to make like my own content. I think I just enjoy the interactions with like my friends that I've met. It's a cool opportunity to connect with everybody.
Yeah, no,
face to face,
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. I just never know, some people, and then there's some people I know that post a ton on Instagram. And then I talk to them like, hey, you want to do a live stream? And they're like, no, that's not for me. It's like,
Yeah.
but it's what feels right for you and what feels good, and it doesn't matter which way it is. But no, I was just curious, like if you're just like, no, I'm good with this, or
Yeah, I was
absolutely.
initially very reluctant to do any kind of stream because it's intimidating,
Oh yeah,
When KB invited me, I was like super flattered. I was like, wow, because I like really enjoy your conversations and it would be really cool to be able to do a stream with Anthony. And so since that went really well, and then Bob and I had planned to do the art stream for a while, and then he took his big break. And so I was like, I don't know when that's going to happen. But then that went super well. I was super comfortable, had a lot of fun. And then when we made plans, I was super excited because I'm definitely a one-on-one person most of the time, So I love the chance to chat one-on-one with someone. And because we've been friends for like many months now,
yeah.
I was super excited to be able to actually chat with you.
No, absolutely, absolutely. That's where it's my time just kind of blurs, so I never know. But I know it's been quite a while. We've chatted like through Instagram and like other live stream chats, being on the same ones and talking, and through Anthony, and
Yeah.
that's where it's kind of hard for me to. If you were like, how long has it been? I honestly don't
Oh,
know.
I lose track of time as well.
Yeah, it just kind of blurs together, but it just feels like, so like jumping onto this, for me anyway, for a lot of people, it just feels like this doesn't seem out of the ordinary to me. Like I've already known you and talked to you, but it might have been through a live stream chat, or it might have been through messages like on an Instagram post or whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of had a good feeling already of your personality and who you were before going on this. So it's like, it kind of takes that worry out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Because you already know you're compatible. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's going to be easy, So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you get on and you find out what I'm really like. And then you're just like, oh, Corey, wrap it up, wrap it up.
No. Not
Giz-
at all.
Gizmo was saying age means wrinkles and bad back. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of bad back, I'm like, I need to sit with better posture. I feel like I've been hunched over this whole time.
Oh, sorry.
Stay a little article.
I was going to tell him too, like, and it means gray hairs. I get a lot
Yeah.
more of those too. So, yep, that's what that means. Saying hi to each other. K-Man was saying they have 3 Grease steelbooks, one with
Yep.
Grease, one with Grease 2, and 3 Grease movie collection.
Yep.
I need the Grease 2. That's
Yep.
the one I need.
The 3 collection one is cool, but like I own them all on different formats. Like, because the Grease Live I have on this cool DVD that actually has like different
Oh, cool. Yeah.
which I love this because I think they
I've not
made
seen
some
it, yeah.
changes to this adaptation that I actually prefer. Like some of the lyric changes I think are better. So nowadays, if I listen to songs from Grease, I actually listen to this soundtrack
Okay.
instead of the original.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen or heard that. So,
Yeah, it's really impressive because there was this whole time where they did all these like live versions of musicals and televised them. Because like they did Dirty Dancing, they did Grease, they did, what was it? Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think they did another one, Hairspray. But the Grease one was definitely the best because it's filmed live and it's very impressive to watch how they pull this off. And like, yeah, it's great. So.
oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Happy Optimist was saying, what do you think of my goat, the Crow, by the way? So probably The Crow, the movie, the re-release of that. Have you seen The Crow before?
I have. Yeah,
So,
I think I had seen it before, maybe it was like some years ago, and then I rewatched it in January and thought it was just fantastic. So
I always enjoy it, and I went out and bought them. I've been waiting on them. I actually found an old post from quite a while ago where I had my Blu-ray of The Crow, and I was like begging on Instagram for like, please 4K, kind of a thing. And I'm sure there was many others, so I'm not saying I'm like the only one that did that, but that was one that I have a lot of nostalgia for. So I'm not saying it's a perfect film, but the combination of I just like it anyway, and then I had a lot of nostalgia where that time in my life, I think I was graduating high school, going into college, and I had a lot of buddies that we went and saw that in the theater quite a few times. Where there was the original run theater, and then it'd go to the second run theaters, and you could some days you could watch it for as little as $1. And yeah, so I'm say that movie is on my list of movies I've seen the most times in a theater. That's number two, for sure. Like I saw it quite a few times because of that. But yeah, they would have the big nice theaters that would have the new movies, and then when they got done doing their run and the new movies came in there, those movies would move to a theater that was kind of like our older rundown ones, and they'd have like dollar days where you could go and so why not? And that was before streaming too, so it was like hey, let's go watch it again. We had fun with it. You go have fun, joke around, and then go out for a bite to eat or something.
Heck yeah.
It was a good night out. So, yep.
So I enjoyed it. I know you bought all three of those releases. Do you have a favorite of the artworks of the three? They're all
they're over there. They're out of arm reach right now. So, yes, I would say. Man, it's tight though. So originally, right off the bat, I wanted the Walmart Steelbook. So the one that had the crow outline, you could see his eyes through the. That one, I was like, "Yep, I'm getting it." And then I saw the slip cover, the artwork on that one.
Yeah, that was
and I really liked it, and I'm like, "Oh man." So then at that point, if I'm like, I'm already getting two of them, I'm gonna get the third one. I got the third one as well.
Yeah, just completed.
Yeah. That's the first time ever I've done that before. I very rarely even just double dip, let alone triple dip into a movie. So no, that's all new territory for me, but I don't know. I liked it enough, and I liked, like I said, for sure. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably say the Walmart Steelbook, where he has the crow outline, you see his face, the eyes through there. But then that slipcover is right up there for me though too. I mean, I like the other Steelbook as well. I'm not taking away from that, but that slipcover, I really like the dark and him kind of the silhouette walking out. So for sure.
Yeah, I think the standard Steelbook is actually my favorite. I love the Steelbook artwork.
Yeah.
Like blue and like the quotes and the different pictures of his character. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And me saying that, and of course I bought that one as well. That doesn't mean I don't like that one, but I think they did a really good job on all three of them. That's where I just had a hard time, and I just I don't do it very often. I'll just get all three of them. So
yeah, I considered getting the Steelbook, but the only thing is there's no Blu-ray disc, and I don't have a 4K player.
Okay. Yep.
So I was like, I'll just stick with the Blu-ray because I really do like that artwork with the red instead of the blue. I think it's pretty epic.
Oh yeah, I have that one too. Yep. Yeah. I have that one in an old DVD as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still need to watch the 4K of it. I haven't even got around to watching it yet. But so, Caveman was asking, when are you and Anthony going to do a collaboration?
Like a live stream or something?
Probably, or a video or something.
I don't know. It would be cool to like do a stream together, like while I'm there with him or something.
Oh yeah.
Or from our different locations. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible. Just got to find the right, reason or.
Well, and I guess you did that with KB on that stream, right? That was a collaboration. Yeah. The three of you were all on doing that.
It was more like an interview kind of.
Yeah.
But it's like Anthony and I could go live like you and I are and just hang out and enjoy that. So who knows? It's possible.
Never say never.
We would just have to tone down the flirting and we'd have to try to be composed.
You got to keep it PG for people like me that are tuning in. No, just kidding. No, that'd be awesome. I mean, even if you did, I think there's so many different things you could probably do, like talking about movies you watched or picked up or reviews kind of a thing. But cool.
Well, that would be cool.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that. Gizmo was saying, I will walk the dog, see you around the next curve of chocolate cake. Sorry, don't speak English. Bye.
Next curve of chocolate cake. Interesting.
Yep. Hey, that's probably a little bit ago, but if you're still in here, thanks for joining in, Gizmo. Always love seeing you. And you're
some chocolate cake.
in your witty sarcasm. So,
Yes. Triple
yep,
dip.
triple dipping. I know. First time for me.
I
I even
used to
just,
double and triple dip, but I don't anymore.
yeah. Well, I'd never even really double dipped before. I mean, I'm not saying never, but it's very rare. So, yeah, that one got me to do it. I think every person probably has some movie title that will draw them to go to that. Maybe not, but everybody's probably got one movie. If they came out with like, to me, all three look great. So
Yeah.
if you have a movie that you have a lot of nostalgia for it and you really like the movie, and they come out with three really great releases, to me anyway, like
Yeah.
this one, and you don't do it all the time, it was hard for me to pass it up.
I think there's only one that I can think of that I would make an exception for that Anthony and I were just talking about. Because you know how Walmart's releasing all these Vestron steelbooks now? So I just recently bought Blood Diner with the
Oh,
slip, and it's beautiful and perfect, and I love it. But if they release a steelbook, I'm getting it. And
that's
I'll keep the slipcover too because I love both.
I still got to watch that one. I heard Mel talking about that
It's
one time, and it sounded like it was wild and crazy time.
it's divisive. I feel like you either like it or you don't really like it.
Yeah, like
It's crazy.
you love it or you hate it. It's
Yeah.
like extremes.
Like I got a huge kick out of it. I think I gave it like 4 stars or something. And then Cody and Emily watched it and they were kind of like I don't know about this.
I know for sure I want to watch it from what I've heard. That's one I might stream before buying it.
Yeah, I would recommend that, especially since the Vestron with the slip, or really just the Vestron period, is kind of pricey.
Yeah,
I managed to
absolutely.
get mine for a good price because it took me a while. I wanted it as soon as I watched it, but I waited for a while until I could get it for a good price, and then I finally bit the bullet.
Yeah.
And since I keep talking about it,
Yeah, you got to show it off.
why the heck not?
Right.
This beautiful slip. If you can look past Ezra's ears, it's so pretty. Yeah,
It looks good. I like it. Yeah.
I love this artwork, but it's a crazy movie for sure.
I got to check that out sometime. Fish was saying, I'm not a fan of musical remakes. I understand trying to pay homage to the original or take it in another direction. Some things don't need musicals. Heather's, Footloose, Mean Girls.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can understand that for sure. Cat sighting. Yep.
There's been a lot of cat sightings in this.
That's all right.
It's
That's
cute
awesome.
though that Ezra's just sitting here. He just wants to be near me and near whatever I'm doing. So
That's funny.
very cute.
They like to do that. Happy Optimist was saying Les Mis was one of those spectacular musicals that made me love music too. But all in all, I'm a diehard emo head. That's awesome.
That's one musical I have not seen.
I
Les
don't.
Miserables.
I have not either. Actually, I've heard music from it, but I have not watched. I have not watched it.
Yeah, it just seems really depressing. So I'm just like,
Yeah, it does definitely, for sure. They're just saying that's the universe telling you to upgrade to 4K Ali.
I want to get a 4K player because, funnily enough, there was one exception that was made, but Anthony got this for me.
I saw you. Yeah,
Yes, because I love this slipcover so much.
you got the sparkly.
Yes, but I was like, I couldn't justify it because I was like, realistically, I'm probably not going to watch it immediately because I don't have a way to play the disc. I could watch it digitally, but I was like, I'll wait on it. But he was like, no. And so he got it for me, and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's fun. I always love seeing both of you have done that for each other,
Yeah,
gotten releases. So it's fun to see that when one of you are like, oh, look what they got me. So
yeah,
I love seeing that. The Cure and the Crow soundtrack will always be top tier. Yeah. That soundtrack altogether, I really like
Yeah,
that.
so
I
good.
still have my original CD of that one.
Nice.
Laren, with the hard question, cake or pie?
Oh man,
So whatever your favorite cake versus your favorite pie.
I'm probably gonna lean towards pie
Me too, actually. Yep.
because I love pumpkin pie.
Oh,
But
that's
then
always
also,
good.
I mean, I like apple pie.
I was going to say apple pie is my top. If you can put things with it, apple pie with a la mode with some ice cream.
Yes, a la mode. I forget. Did you watch Little Miss Sunshine yet?
I have not yet. I got that
Well,
on my
because I
list.
only know about a la mode because of Little Miss Sunshine. because they
Because of that movie? That's the only reason you know about it?
yes.
Oh man, really? You didn't grow up with that?
I don't think so. Like, I'm not that phrase. I mean, I would like
Oh,
ice cream
okay.
with pie, but I never heard
Okay.
anyone call it a la mode,
Oh, I
until I was
guess
in Miss Sunshine.
we were fancy out in the country where we were at. No, just kidding.
Because there's like a scene in the movie where the family goes to this restaurant and the little girl
Oh,
Olive is looking at the menu and she's like, "Oh, like a la mode, what does that mean?" And they're like, "Oh, it means it comes with ice cream." And so, yeah, I was like,
I don't know.
"Oh,
That makes me think of Pulp Fiction with Roth in the diner, and he's like garçon, garçon, and the waitress comes up and she's like, that means boy or something like that. It just I don't know, makes me think of that where you don't really know what you're saying, but just like it
yeah."
sounds fancy. But all right, Laren, we solved it. Pie for sure. What's the movie you own the most copies of? Oh, I know mine.
Mine would probably be Back to the Future
Mm,
because I had the VHS, so I have a DVD of it, and then I have the Blu-ray.
yep.
So,
Mine's Unforgiven.
well, nice.
VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K of it.
See, I also own 3 copies of Charlie's Angels as well because it's the same. I have the VHS,
Oh.
the DVD, but I only kept those DVDs because they're autographed by Chris.
Oh, cool.
But if they weren't, like, I kind of regret getting rid of my Grease 2 DVD, but I was like, I don't need it. I'm upgrading it, so I got rid of it. But if it was like autographed by Michelle Pfeiffer, I would have kept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was not. So I was like, I just need one ultimate copy of it to put on my shelf, and that's
Back to the Future. That's a good one. That's a great one. Have you ever seen Unforgiven before?
I don't think so.
Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman. Do you care for westerns at all?
It's not my like go-to genre, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to watching it.
All right. So if I'm gonna go watch Grease 2, are you gonna go watch Unforgiven?
We could do that.
Okay.
We'll find a way to watch it.
It was up for awards. I'm not giving you some like trashy, horrible, but you might not. It might not click for you. It's a great story, I think. Revenge story
And you
mixed in
said
there.
Unforgiven or Unforgivable?
Unforgiven.
Okay.
So you'll know I can't remember if I think it's just Unforgiven, but it's Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman are in that.
Nice.
But, yeah. Look for Clint Eastwood. You'll know you have the right one. So, public displays of affection would make some enjoyable entertainment. I don't think they're looking for that. They just want to talk about movies.
Yeah.
Holland Pie. He was right with us. Pie, 100%.
Ooh.
Mine is Mean Girls. Oh, for fish. I was wondering what you had for really Mean Girls. Okay. I'd be curious if it's just. That's what's funny. Like some movies just have so many. Even if it's just like mine, it's because of different formats. But sometimes it's the same format, but they have a lot of different releases. Like we were just talking about. I bought 3 of The Crow. So I guess The Crow would be right up there. There you go, the Burn Book.
Anthony actually got this for me. It was the first gift that he ever got for me.
Oh, awesome.
The Steelbook, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
So now that I say that, I have a tie now. So The Crow the Crow is probably tied now with. So Unforgiven, I have the VHS, DVD, a Blu-ray, and a 4K. The Crow, I have
4Ks and the Blu-ray.
I have the DVD, the Blu-ray, and then now The Crow. The Crow I have the most of now because I bought those 3.
Wow.
Okay, I was wrong.
Okay.
It was the Unforgiven up until this last week.
Yeah. You got booted.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Fish is going for cake.
Cake. Yep. Got the tough questions tonight. How many? Asking how many copies of Mean Girls.
Wow.
Our pies are a little different, Holland.
No.
Okay. All right, we'll run through it. I know I'm taking you way too long. I'll wrap through it.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Love Barbie. And it's not for any reason. I haven't seen it yet. And I don't have any, I'm not like, I'm not going to watch Barbie. I'm not that at all. There's tons of movies that I want to see that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. It's a fun watch, you know. It's very vibrant. So, oh my gosh, Sling. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Ken.
I wish Michael Sierra had a bigger part in Barbie.
He was very entertaining in his parts.
Good night. Hey, thanks for joining in, Tony. That might have been a little bit ago, but thank you, sir, for being in here. Oh my God, Corey, watch Little Miss Sunshine.
Because I told you that when you said you hadn't seen it, I was like, you need to watch this immediately.
And I think you said that before I was going on a work trip, and I downloaded a couple movies, and the flight ended up being horrible. And I was going to watch it on the flight, and I ended up I didn't get it watched. Long story short. Yep. I need to watch it. I've heard a lot of good things. All right. I'm writing it down again with my other suggestions. So
it's so good. That's one that I need to rewatch because it has like a very interesting tone to it, but it's like funny and quirky, but also kind of emotional at times, heartwarming. So it gives you a lot.
Well, there's a great cast in that one too.
Yeah. Toni Collette, Greg Kinnear, Steve Carell, Abigail Breslin, Paul Dano, Alan Arkin. It's just like, that's the family right there. It's like stacked, you know.
Look at you, just throwing them out.
Amazing. There. Told you I'm good with names.
I wish I was better at it. I'm horrible with names. I'm good. I'm a visual, so like I can recognize a face, no problem whatsoever, and know where I met that person, but then the name escapes me. Wow. Close up, extreme close up. I saw a big eyeball there for a second.
Yeah, he heard this neighbor of mine peeling out over here.
Oh.
Disturbed his rest over here.
You haven't seen my greatest anxiety reliever of all time, Little Miss Sunshine. You'll love Paul Dano in that. Dwayne is just relatable.
He's my favorite character too. Yeah.
I'll have to put that up there. A surprising musical for me was Moulin Rouge.
See, I haven't seen that one either.
I saw that in the theater. My wife and I went and saw that in the theater.
I want to see it because Ewan McGregor's in it, and I
like him. Yeah, it's him and what's her face? Used to be married to Tom Cruise.
Katie Holmes?
No. Before her. Redhead.
It's not Nicole Kidman?
Yeah. Okay. Isn't that her? Yeah, she's in there, isn't she? I think so.
Because I think she's been a blonde for a while now, but I know she was a redhead.
Well, this was back in the day.
Yeah, I think she's a natural redhead, I think.
I thought that was her anyway. I love this when I like make myself sound really stupid on some of these things. Yeah, no, she was in there. Yep. Yay. It was her.
Well, I like her.
Like I said, I'm bad with names.
So that sells me on it. Yeah.
Lots of singing.
Yeah. Yep. Have you seen Practical Magic?
No, I'm not. I gotta write that one down too. My gosh.
That is a great movie. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. You have Stockard Channing, Diane Weiss, Aidan Quinn. Great.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen that one before.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman has red hair in that one, and it's gorgeous. Her hair and Sandra Bullock's hair is just like so luscious and beautiful.
So is it like Days of Thunder? Like that?
No.
That time? No, I know, but like that time frame. She had like the red curly hair,
No, it's actually like straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more sleek, but very beautiful.
So Practical Magic.
Yeah,
I know I've heard of it, but So have you ever had any movies that you maybe saw, you've seen it and it like time just passes by? You're like, I don't think I've seen that before. And you start watching it and you're like, this seems too familiar. I had to have seen at least part of this at one point.
I'm sure that's happened for me. Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if that's going to happen with that one, but
maybe because it's about like these sisters that are witches.
Yeah. No, I can think of what the movie is, but I just don't know if it's just I remember seeing trailers for it and stuff, or
maybe you saw it like once a long time ago, so you just have a vague memory of it.
I'm trying to block it out, maybe. So, all right. I know I've kept you way, way too long, so we can start wrapping it up. I could just keep on going. I'm having a blast hanging out with you. So I hope you had okay time, going way longer than you ever expected, probably for
Oh,
this. So
no, I had a great time too.
I appreciate you doing this. But do you have anything else? I know I asked you a couple times like things that are coming up, but is anything you want to? As I hit my microphone, I talk with my hands. I always make a joke. If I tied my hands together, I probably wouldn't be able to talk. So
Yeah.
but anything big and exciting? Like even just movies you're going to go out to see that you're planning on, or it doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube or Instagram or anything.
Not immediately. No, because I did just go see Boy Kills World.
I want to see that one. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Liked it. I'm trying to think of what the next movie is that I'll be going to see. I don't know. Might be a minute. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't really have anything too exciting planned.
No, I have to. Well, I would like to go see Boy Kills World, and we'll have to see if I get out to see that in the theater or not. It sounds like I have to do some movie shopping after we get done streaming here to fill in some blanks. Definitely Little Miss Sunshine and Grease 2 and, things like that. So
Magic.
Practical Magic. And
Yeah.
what was the other Steelbook? There was another one. Grease 2. Killer Clowns. That was it.
Yes,
Killer
that's
Clowns.
that's a priority. You need to purchase that now.
Don't ask any questions. Just go purchase it. But
Yeah.
but no, this was a blast, and I appreciate you doing this and for going way longer than you expected. Everybody that's been in the chat, I appreciate it so much, live or coming in later. I would say if you're in the live chat right now and you don't feel like being done, even though we're wrapping up, if you don't feel like being done with live streams and chatting, I would say go over to Jeff with John Doe Juggalo, his channel. I know he's doing a stream right now with Cody, Dude Who Loves Movies. They're doing a wrap up of Chucky season 3. So if you want to get in a live stream or live chat, and even though we're wrapping up, if you want to join into another one, I know they're still going. So go ahead and do that. So Allie, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And,
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was an honor to be on here and
an
honor to chat with you. Very fun.
You flatter. So
I do.
no.
But it's genuine. It's from the heart. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. So
No, I appreciate it. I know you do. I always just do that. It's my deprecate. I can't say it, but yeah, that one. So I appreciate it. But thanks everybody. Allie, if you hang on for just a second, I'll bug you for just a little bit more. But everybody, thank you so much, and we'll definitely be seeing you all here really soon. So